This is a good week for Big Sills. Get a raise? Yep. It's Eagles and Cowboys. It's the 105th season of the National Football League. Hold on, folks. Hey, welcome aboard to the Big Sills show that is never late. You're always on Big Sills time. Okay? We are never late, and we welcome you here. And do me a favor. Hit that damn like button. Oh, subscribe to the channel to win fabulous prizes. I hope I got that right. Okay? And Super Chats go to the top. I did learn one thing about Big Z telling me this last year, though. Over 75% of the people that watch the show haven't subscribed. Oh, become a member. I told him to write it down. He thought I would remember that. I mean, I don't remember what I ate 2 minutes ago. And he goes, hey, say this. I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, well, that's not happening. I'm a very simple man. I'm a man of the people. Here it is right here. Look at this. Okay, 2 giveaway. What? Folks, let's go. Sure. Boy, those are really big words for me. Man. So there you have it. Just not even there you have it. Hit that damn subscribe button. Simple as that. What an absolutely sensational weekend in college football, though. And then to turn around and to see Bill Belichick get his ass kicked last night by TCU. I mean, that was quite interesting to see old Bill getting his head kicked in last night. Okay? It was interesting to see how he got his fanny kicked last night. They will be better, but wow, what a great weekend in college football. It was just absolutely sensational. Today, we'll have Brad Sham on at 4:30. The legendary voice of the Dallas Cowboys will join us today. That's going to be at 4:30. Sills, are we sure that was UNC team last night and not a JV squad from Chapel Hill? Good Lord. Hey, man, they had 70 new dudes from the transfer portal last night, and it looked it. It totally looked it last night. Absolutely, man. They got destroyed by TCU last night. It was kind of interesting. Hey, and you had Michael Jordan and Lawrence Taylor, Mia Hamm. You had Julius Peppers. You had a boatload of people in the building last night, and no one gave a shit after they were getting their ass kicked last night. That was quite an ass beating. It will get better, I believe. Okay? It will. AP Top 25 is just about to come out, and we will see where everybody has those teams. It's going to be another great weekend in college football. And by the way, the ratings are starting to trickle in. It's some of the biggest numbers we've ever seen in college football was this past weekend. Some of the greatest numbers of all time. All right. Do me a favor, guys. Give a round of applause for the best player on the Philadelphia Eagles and the face of the franchise, and this year voted by the players as the face of the league, and Saquon Barkley. By the way, for the record, he's not a Hall of Famer, but he had a Hall of Fame year. That resume of his is nowhere near Hall of Fame. It is nowhere near Hall of Fame. Many of those numbers aren't better than Josh Jacobs. You take that season he had away a year ago, he's a common running back. I could find you normal dudes that had careers like that. Sills, he's a Hall of Fame talent. Hey, man, you've got to have Hall of Fame moments, not a Hall of Fame year. Saquon, number one player. Number one player. You have the number one player in the league and the face of the Eagles and Saquon Barkley. Everything we said, that football team runs right through that player. The number one face. How you doing, man? That's right. If you're going to win the Super Bowl, it's going to run through that player, Saquon Barkley. There's no doubt. I never had a doubt that he was going to win. I thought him or Josh Allen was going to be the number one player in the NFL. Him or Allen. And Barkley, in my opinion, probably should have won the MVP award a year ago. Where do you think? Number 2. How you doing? What do you think? He's going to rank 19th? Oh, wait. I know. Oh, that's right. What do you think he was going to be 19th? Josh Allen? He's going to be either number 1 or number 2, dude. That's who he's going to be. Barkley, Henry's had a Hall of Fame career. Saquon is not. Now, people are like this. Sills, Saquon's got more of a career to go. Absolutely. We'll find out if he can, what he does this year. But based off of his resume, where in the world do you see Hall of Fame unless you're just assuming? You're assuming because of what you saw a year ago and not actual production. You're assuming that the guy is a Hall of Fame player. That's like assuming Archie Manning, who won the MVP award on a shitty Saints team years and years ago, should be a Hall of Famer because he played on a bad team. Archie Manning should be a Hall of Fame football player. Archie Manning never had a 500 record, but he won the MVP award on an awful Saints organization. Yeah, but still, he was a Hall of Fame talent. Well, he never had a Hall of Fame resume. That guy won the MVP award on a bad team. That doesn't make him a Hall of Fame player. Not at all. Okay? Henry can't fill the shoes. If Henry has 1,200 yards, he's 5th all time in rushing. Because you win a Super Bowl, douchebag, don't mean you're better. That has no bearing on that. Who's the better player? Terrell Owens or Devontae Smith? T.O. never won a Super Bowl. Are you under the impression because you win a Super Bowl, you're better and you're on a 53-man roster and you win a ring, you're a better player? That's asinine. Nobody would suggest that. That Trent Dilfer is better because he won a Super Bowl as the quarterback of the Ravens than Warren Moon. Who thinks like that? But an idiot. Idiots don't. That's not how that's voted on. It's voted on what kind of player were you Monday through Friday, which means during the regular year. That's a Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is based on your career, not going to the Super Bowl. Get this. Archie Manning played in an era where you threw the ball 18 times a game. Always remember that first. Always remember that, guy. If Barkley does what you say he's going to do this year for the rest of his career, he's in the Hall. Let's take a look at it. All-time leading rushers. I think he's 68th. He's 68th in all-time rushing. So let's look at all-time rushers. I heard this thing today by John. John's out of his 1 year, dude. And you're assuming he was a good player in New York. So you're giving him the benefit of the doubt. Why don't you give Bo Jackson the benefit of the doubt? Bo Jackson was a better ball player than Saquon Barkley. So let's take a look at Barkley. Henry's 19th right now. And if he goes for another 1,700 yards, that'll put him at 13,000. And that'll put him at either 5th or 6th all-time rushing. Saquon is at 65. He's at 7,200 rushing yards. I believe he's 2 years younger than Henry. So if he goes for 13, he's at 8,500. That will put him at 42nd. You got a long way to go, dude. We put Hall of Fame voters on here, and they tell you he's not. People who actually have a vote. Jason Cole tells you. Howard Balzer tells you he's not a Hall of Famer yet. Those are guys who actually are two of the 50 men that vote. Now, this is true. New York is to blame. He's a great player. It's not an opinion. They have votes. They vote for the Hall of Fame. They said it on this program. He's not a Hall of Famer. That's not an opinion. 2 Hall of Famers come on this program all the time and said that to you. Do you understand? If 7 of those people say no, he doesn't make it. So 2 of the 7 already that come on the program all the time say he's not. Here's the guys that are ahead of him that have more rushing yards that will be considered. What about LaShawn McCoy? Shady's had a better career. Doesn't he deserve consideration? You're not putting 2 Hall of Fame running backs in at the same time. Doesn't Shady deserve some consideration? I think Shady's 2030s, 11,000 rushing yards. Wouldn't you consider Shady before you would consider Saquon Barkley? I would consider Shady McCoy first. How about fucking Eddie George? Where's Eddie George in the conversation? Look at Warrick Dunn. Warrick Dunn is sitting at 11,000 rushing yards. Look at Fred Taylor at 12,000 rushing yards. He's in the top 20. Steven Jackson, Derrick Henry, Corey Dillon, LaShawn McCoy, Tiki Barber, Eddie George, Marshawn Lynch. These are all dudes ahead of him. He's got to remain healthy. If he puts 5,000 yards on in the next 5 years, say, okay? Yeah, he cares. He has said it. That's who cares. Barkley cares. He wants to be considered one of the greatest of all time. Do you not hear him? This is not me talking about. This is him, man. That's who fucking cares. Who cares if saying makes the Hall of Fame? He's great right now, and that's all that matters. I'm only concerned with the 26 season for now. Well, I got it. You're like Howie. He's also concerned about the 2026 season and not the 2025 season. I agree with you 100%, Trenton. You're like Howie and the rest of the organization. You are concerned about next year. Absolutely true. 2026, I agree with you. Thank you, Trenton. Understood. 2026. You and Howie and the owner and the head coach and everybody else is worried about that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're right, 100%. Okay? Yeah, read contract. I got it. No, I'm sure it's coming. Yeah, no, I know. I'm sure it's coming. Probably today. Sales, Frank Gore is 16,000 yards, third all-time. Gore was never considered the best running back in the league. His total yards, while impressive, does not make him a Hall of Famer. You need more than just numbers. So you're trying to tell me longevity doesn't matter in this league and a guy gained 16,000 yards? And because he wasn't considered the best player at his respected position, that because he lasted a long time and was able to be a dominant football player and be the third all-time leading guy in 100 years of the sport, you think that you throw water on that accomplishment. So longevity doesn't matter, right? Okay. So he just told you, Bob, that 16,000 rushing yards in pro football history doesn't matter. What a fucking absolutely outsider's way of looking at it. That is an amazing accomplishment. I know, Trenton. I got you, buddy. Thank you very much. It's all good, brother. Super chats go to the top. So if you play that long, and if you happen to play and pile up numbers, and you happen to be third in the history of the sport, well, I'm going to give the other guy the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to take your hard work away because Bob takes your hard work away because, he was never really considered great, but he was just considered okay. But I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, even though you never accomplished it. Okay. Bob wants to give Saquon Barkley a hall pass and take Frank Gore's career stats away from him and his accomplishments away from him because he wants to give Barkley the benefit of the doubt. That's all you can do with Barkley is benefit of the doubt. And to you people, they are stats. To football players, they're accomplishments. Those are accomplishments. When you climb up the ladder board in receiving yards, rushing yards, sacks, why do you think they keep chart? And why do you think they keep the numbers? That's how you get to the Hall of Fame. That's how you get paid. All of that. See, there are accomplishments to players. To you, because of the fantasy world we live in and the fantasy football world we live in, you guys don't understand accomplishments. Why would you? Montana said today, not really, but kind of. Oh, yeah, the guy in Philly. But then, wait, I'd have to put Mahomes. I heard the thing. I heard it. No, it wasn't top 3. He had him at 4. And then when they pressed him about Mahomes, he goes, oh, yeah, I got to put Mahomes in there. So wherever you got Hurts is fine. He did have Josh Allen number 1. How you doing, Leon? Not my boy, Joe. Joe said if he had to pick a team to start a football team with, he picked Josh Allen. Of course he would. Great minds think alike. That great minds think alike. Absolutely. Thank you, Joe. Allen is the best. Even the best say it. Come on, man. Josh Allen. Even Montana barked it. Okay? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. How can anybody say this about Frank Gore and not say it about your boy BG? BG doesn't have any numbers, and he played a long time. He doesn't have any numbers. His sack numbers are very average. They're average. Gore is third all time. It's not like BG put 8 sack seasons up every year, and he's got 120. And all of a sudden, you're looking at it going, hey, the guy played a long time, and he's got a lot of sacks. That's not the case. BG played a long time and doesn't have any numbers. How many Pro Bowls does he have? 2? He's not going anywhere. I mean, he's not going anywhere. Great player. Don't get me wrong. And a legendary career. Dude, you play that long? 15 years? That's fantastic. Okay? Still's always big leaguing us. What are you talking about, big leaguing you? I'm talking about reality, fuckbag. And if you don't like it, sit down and be quiet. Carter will be a Hall of Famer and won't have many sacks. That's because the position doesn't dictate that. Warren Sapp doesn't have 100 sacks. If you're a defensive tackle, you don't have to have a 100 sack number. If you're a perimeter edge guy, you do. Interior guys don't have to have big numbers. They don't have to be 118, 125 sacks. As a matter of fact, I would contest that of all the defensive tackles, Aaron Donald's probably one of the only ones that is head and shoulders above everybody else when it comes to sack numbers. Okay, so I mean, you don't have to have that. You have to have like at least 80, north of 80. Look at Steve McMichael. Steve McMichael was north of 90. That's fantastic for a defensive tackle. He did fantastic. Graham did things that don't show. Bro, you're giving him the benefit, but not a guy like Frank Gore, who had 16,000 rushing yards. Only Walter Payton and Emmett had more. And you want to take a shit on that, and you see what he did, but you want to give Brandon, well, you don't really see the things on paper. Well, how do you know you don't see the things on paper with Gore? Holy fuck. Are you trying to tell me you're going to give a guy the benefit of the doubt because of things you don't see on the paper? And then you turn around and when you talk about somebody else, you're going to hold that against them. Talk about fandom. Frank was never an offensive player of the year. So? He's third all time. He's got more rushing yards than every running back but Emmett and Peyton. Are you crazy? That guy's going to be a first ballot. Wait, so a guy with 16,000 rushing yards, he's not a Hall of Famer, but a guy with 7,200 yards right now is. Make that make sense. How about this? At the end of the day, Saquon Barkley won't come anywhere near those numbers. Nowhere near them. He would need another 9 years. And him staying healthy. Let's see this year. By the way, if he gets hurt this year, it's over. Over. Sill's dying on the dying on the hill. I'll die on the hill for 16,000 yards. Sure. No problem. You go ahead and die on the hill for 7,200. I'll die on the hill for 16,000. Sure. No problem. Damn right I will. Not a problem. Hall of Famer. You got some work to do, son. You got a big year ahead of you. And as the number one player in the National Football League, kudos to you. Kudos to you. Vain. It's called conviction, douche. I mean, it's called conviction. All right? Some of you hit the like button. Some of you sit there and be quiet. All right. This is wonderful. Out of the gate here. So the Philadelphia Eagles, let's see if they responded back yet. Let's see here. Let's see here. I got to play that Montana bite too. So I put this down and I put this out there. I said Bob Lang's the worst PR director in the history of the National Football League. And by the way, you should just seen all the Philly people that are in the media congratulating me for doing something no one else will do. You know what that is? Call out this guy. So you had Vic Fangio shut down because you didn't like Vic Fangio telling the truth at press conferences? And so you had the PR guy coaching these coaches to shut the fuck up? Wow. You just can't tell somebody that Adoree Jackson's starting or that Sidney Brown's starting? Who the fuck are you? The CIA? Honest to God, man, it's pathetic. They don't respect the local beat writers because every national story that's ever broken is broken by Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter. It goes through those guys first, and then they bleed it down to the local guys. The local guys don't know shit. They feed them what they want to not have them see. They limit them in practice. They don't tell them shit. They pull that stuff, and now they got Vic shut down. They're telling Vic to shut the fuck up. I mean, a coach like that who earned so much a year ago by having his football team end up the number one team in the National Football League on defense. And you won't let him pick his own starters, and you won't at least give him the gratitude of saying, who's your starting corner or safety? What a bunch of bullshit that is. Hines Ward has a better chance at the Hall of Fame than Brandon Graham. I think those two players are great ball players. Don't get me wrong, dude. Those are two really good football players. They're in the land of really great. They're just not in the land of Canton. Those are good football players. Don't get me wrong. Good. Very good. sensational football players. But let's not start talking about the halls of Canton here. So guy comes out there, and I think this is more of a shot at Bob Lang and the Eagle PR people. It's not a shot at Vic. Vic's not taking a shot at Nick and Howie. This is a shot at Bob Lang from Vic Fangio. Hey, can you imagine that dude, Bob Lang, went to Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator, and said, we don't want you to name the starter. We want Nick to do that. Because Nick doesn't really have a job. So we got to make sure we have to show that Nick has the authority on who starts and who doesn't. I don't have a problem with that. But why won't you empower your assistants? And let your assistants, if you value them that much, why don't you let your assistants talk and just go, yeah, man, listen, the guy's starting. Adorie's going to start. Sidney Brown's going to start at safety. That's what it looks like now. Why does Vic have to have that job? I mean, or how about this? Don't say anything. Just release the depth chart. The media will see the depth chart. Nothing has to be said by anybody. Why the cloak and dagger? What is that? So fucking petty. It's petty. It has nothing to do with winning. It's not gamesmanship. But he gives a shit about Adoree Jackson. Dude, Adoree Jackson or the other guy, Bennett, are still going to go there. And Dak's going to throw for a boatload of yards. Whether it's Bennett or it's Jackson. It's going to just be a matter of when in the game it matters. If it's early and they're throwing for a ton of yards, then it's a game. If it's late and they're behind, which I think it's going to be, they're going to throw for a shitload of yards anyway. Dak's going to come out of that game with north of 325 yards. Book it. They have no other way of moving the ball. CeeDee Lamb is going to have over 100 yards and 10 catches. It still could be 31-17 in a blowout. Or it could be 27-24. Obviously, the Cowboys want to make it a fourth quarter good football game. That's how this is going to play out. I said it yesterday on the abbreviated show. If Philly comes out and they run the ball and they get up 14-0, they in theory don't have to throw another pass for the entire game, and the Cowboys have no shot of stopping them. I don't care if you put 13 guys on the field. You're not stopping them because they're going to run the. Now, here's the key. So Landon Dickerson's out there. That doesn't necessarily mean he's playing. So now he's got a bad back. Dude, if you have Dickerson out and you have that Toth guy and you have Steen, you are by far not having the edge at the interior. You do not have the edge. It's a push, I would say, inside. Where your edge is going to be is at the perimeter. Now, I'll tell you this. Where does Jalen Hurts struggle the most on sacks? Interior pressure gets to this guy. Okay? He took 50 counting the playoffs a year ago. 50. If that guy has trouble with interior pressure in that game, it'll be closer. Even if Dickerson plays, how healthy is he? Bad back, 2 knee surgeries. Really? Okay. If I was Dallas, I'd put Clark right on his ass and bull rush him. Let's find out how healthy he is. And I would test that guy out immediately. Okay? Yeah, look at this guy here. Don't interior pressure disturb all good quarterbacks? Yeah. But one thing is for sure, Hurts takes sacks. Josh Allen had 50 pass attempts last year. 14 sacks. Hurts had 360 attempts and took 50. You tell me who struggles more in the pocket. He does. This guy takes north of 38 sacks a year since he's been a starter, not counting the playoffs. He struggles with interior pressure. His attitude is, I'd rather take a sack than turn the ball over. Okay? Probably agree. Not really, though. Throw it away. Nobody gives a shit about your according to Eagle fans, the stats. Throw it away. Why can't you throw it away? You're taking negative yards anyway. I mean, he doesn't throw the ball as much. I'll tell you this. Josh Allen, a year ago, threw the ball more, counting the playoffs. Hurts threw it less, by far, and still took 50 sacks. Stop the bullshit. Sills, what do you think about players not being on the field for the banner drop? I think it's stupid. Jesus criminy. What are you, 5 years old? You can't say repeat. You can't say defending champions. Like, what are you doing? It's so Mickey Mouse high school bullshit. Don't say the word repeat. You're the defending champs. So what? You mean to tell me that team's not mature enough to know the difference between 2024 and 2025? What are you, 5 years old? Dude, when you're a champion, you play like a champion every day, no matter what it is. That shit doesn't come into your brain. You fucking play like a champion all the time. You walk like a champion. You practice like a champion. And this is just voodoo shit. Stupid. Like the stuff shutting Vic down and not being able to answer questions on his starting defensive team. And now you're not going to be out there. And then bullshit artist Nick Sirianni lying. I didn't know it was banner night. Dude, can you be any more of a bullshit artist? Honest to God. He's got to be able to name his starters. And now, hey, fuck, what's going on Thursday? What's fucking going on Thursday? What is it? Let me guess. It's dopey night. I mean, hey, what is it? It's like dopey night. No, Nick, it's Cowboys and Eagles. I didn't know. How would I fucking know? I mean, they do. What do they do? Why are we playing on Thursday? Well, Nick, because usually the defending champion hosts the game to start the season out for the NFL, in case you hadn't been watching the last 6 years. And they usually drop a banner, like to signify that you had a great year a year ago. Right? Oh, fuck, I didn't know anything about it. The fuck do I know? I was like, this guy's so dopey. Go back to planting fucking sunflower seeds, bro. I mean, you can't be any dumber. Well, I don't know. I mean, fuck, what's going on Thursday? How fucking dumb are you, man? Like, you're talking to Philadelphia Eagle fans who've been waiting for this moment since 17 to drop another banner. And here's Dopey Sirianni. I don't fucking what's going on Thursday? Oh, really? I didn't even know it was banner night. What a fucking stunad. Holy shit, man. I don't fucking know. What did I know? You mean it's Super Bowl night? I don't have any idea. Holy dummy, man. Oh, yeah, Nick, it's Super Bowl night. Really? What? Really? You see him winking and shit like he's got Tourette's. I don't what? The guy couldn't keep a straight face. Dude, what do you mean? Is Sills okay? Is Sirianni okay, Sue? I don't know what's going on Thursday night. I just thought we were playing the Dallas Cowboys. Dopey Sirianni. Is it really banner night? Well, shit. What's banner night mean? Well, Nick, they get a banner for the second Super Bowl victory, and the Eagles are going to drop it. Well, we're not going to be out there for that. Why? Because we don't want to see it. Okay, sure. You stay in the locker room. Holy cow! I mean, hey guys, I don't want this to go to your head, so we're going to stay in the locker room. You're 30-year-old men. I don't want anybody to get a big head on watching an accomplishment on what you guys have done and the hard work that you guys put into that, so that you know what's at the end of the rainbow this year. You can have the same feeling this time next year, this time. Instead, I want you to wipe this off your mind. Don't even think about banner night. There's no such thing. Okay. No problem. I'll forget it, coach. Fucking dopey. It's just fucking dopey. Oh, I mean, really? You think that Landon Dickerson and Lane Johnson are going to let that banner get in their way of an accomplishment this year? Well, then you're not really thinking those men are that smart. You're treating them like 5-year-olds. Those are men in your locker room. And it's like Vic can't talk, and these guys are not allowed to use the word repeat. Jesus Christ. I mean, who runs the team? Vlad Putin? I mean, you guys, got a lot of rules this year. Can't say the word repeat. And you're not allowed out to see the banner fall. I'm sure you're probably not allowed to wear the rings around the place. I mean, right? Jalen Hurts definitely going out there watching it drop. I would too. I'd take a team vote and go, you guys are voted out. We want to see this thing, man. We want to celebrate it with our fans, and then we're going to go kick the Cowboys' ass. I think that's more of a manly approach, don't you? Let's celebrate with my fans. My fans. The fans who come here and support us every day. It's not about you guys. It's about our fans. That's a fan thing. Drop in the banners for the fans. And let the players celebrate with the fans. Then you go out there and kick the shit out of the Cowboys for the fans. What a great thing that would be for Philly. Nope. Can't talk about it, and you can't see it. Okay. Talk about controlling freaks. From Vic Fangio not being allowed to talk about starting and who his starting lineup is, to not allowing the players out to watch the banner fall, and not being allowed to even mention the fact that you're defending champions is kind of stupid. I mean, it's stupid. That's my take. That's totally, bro, some of the greatest fans on the planet are going to be there Thursday night. Celebrate it with them. Celebrate it. Go celebrate with them. And then you know what you do? Dude, you're so motivated to go kick the fuck out of the Cowboys after that. I don't know. Those fans are going to be juiced. And not seeing their favorite players out there for this thing is stupid. Let them sit out there. Let the city of Philly, let them know how they feel. Dude, well done. And for the fans, do you really believe that the fans of Philadelphia are going to sit on their hands Thursday? If that team farts around in the first quarter, they're going to boo the Eagle offense. You know why? That's what Philly does. They're going to boo you. Why? Because they expect you to win it again. So wait a minute. The Eagle fans know the difference. But the organization is guarding against what? Expectations? You guys know the difference. If Nick Sirianni and those guys are, God forbid, and I don't believe this, if they're down 10-7 after the first quarter, you're going to hear a fucking torrential downpour of boos from the Philly faithful. You fucking went out of that gate, and 15 minutes earlier, you were cheering them. But that's how you guys are. And I like that. And I like that in you. Way to go. Congratulations. Way to fucking put another banner up there, guys. Now go fucking get another one. That's who you are, I think. Not this one. We just won it. Let's not get too over ourselves. Oh my God. Are you afraid? The Eagle organization's acting like they're afraid. That's like afraid. Vic, don't say anything. Why? Because we're afraid. Afraid of what? I mean, I don't want us to go out there and see the banner fall. What, because you're afraid? I mean, really? I think it's really stupid. This is really dumb. It's like childish. Get this. Eagles fear nothing except talking about repeating, watching the banner fall. You're afraid. You're afraid of thinking about an accomplishment you accomplished. Sounds like fear to me. Well, what would you call it? What would you call it? You ever hate? Oh, yeah. Now it's on me because they won't allow your team to come out and watch the banner fall. And they won't allow you to say the word repeat. I'm a hater. Okay. M. Reyes, go sit in the corner, guy. Hey, wait. They won't allow the team to say repeat, and you can't go out and watch the banner fall. But I'm the hater. You're not going to allow the team to go out and celebrate with the fans on Thursday, but I'm the hater. I got it. I don't want to see the banner. I don't want to see any of that. Of course you don't. I don't want to see any of that. Oh, my God. That's right, man. Don't worry about it. Hey, from now on this program, we're going to use the word repeat. We're going to use the word champion. We're going to use that because we're not afraid to dub your Eagles the defending champions. Unlike some of you or people in your organization who are afraid to use those words. We're not allowed to use that. Not in our locker room. We're trying to make sure we don't have a Super Bowl hangover. You know how you make sure you don't have a Super Bowl hangover? You fucking go win. Hey, you're not allowed out until we tell you. Go get him, guys. Like you're 4 years old. It's fucking great. Holy shit, man. Wow. I got to tell you, man. Pretty interesting. What do you make of a team not being out? I don't know. Here, the Vic thing is, I'm going to get back to the Vic thing in a minute. They told Vic to shut the fuck up. You're talking over your skis. I didn't know saying Adoree Jackson is my corner is the thing. So let me go further now. So when asked, this is fucking really, I'll tell you what, it looks like there's a couple things that might get in their own way. You know what that is? Themselves. Co-starter at corner and co-starter at safety? No. Co-starter at linebacker. So you have co-starters at linebacker and corner, and I'm assuming Sydney's starting. And you're 48 hours from kickoff. Is that right? Yeah. Sounds like you replaced these guys. Wow. Hey, you're on top of it. Way to go. You got 3 positions where you got co-starters. You didn't fucking replace these guys. All offseason, I kept telling you, you're not replacing these guys. You are not. You're not. And now you've got 48 hours out. The depth chart reads co-starters. So are you rotating these guys? So let me go. You're rotating a corner. Is that right? Okay. You're going to rotate your linebacker between Campbell and Trotter. Is that correct? And you're going to rotate Sidney Brown and Makuba. So a year ago, Brown couldn't get on the field. Makuba's new. Trotter couldn't get on the field. Campbell's new. And the 2 dudes you got at corner 2 weren't on your team. Interesting. And you're heading into Dallas like that? And you think that's what? Lockdown defense? You're going to be rotating these guys. A year ago, Slade wasn't rotating. CJ wasn't rotating. The Kobe wasn't rotating. You didn't take dudes off the field except one guy. That was Jordan Davis. You can call it whatever you fucking want. I call it a football defensive team that doesn't have an identity and has no clue what it is because you're rotating players. You're going to rotate a corner versus Lamb? Dude, Lamb's going to have a big night. I just don't know if it's early or late. I don't. But you are not nowhere near. You're not even solidified on who's playing and who's going to get more playing time yet. Vic doesn't know yet. I mean, a year ago, you went into a football game with bona fide starters. And they played against Green Bay. Nobody came out. Nobody came out. Holy cow. Vic and Nick know who's starting. But wait, no. That's not the point. You think Dallas and CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott are worried about some dude named Bennett and Adoree Jackson? Dude, that's not Stingley or Surtain or Quinyon Mitchell. Those are nobodies. Do you think they're really worried about Sidney Brown? Sidney Brown couldn't get on the field a year ago. You think they're worried about Andrew Makuba or a Trotter who's never played? They're not worried about them guys. They're worried about Carter, Bond, Q, and Coop. Everyone else, they don't give a shit about. That's right. And once again, I'll quantify it because this guy's a dumbass at times. If he's having a big night early, the game's close, and it'll be a fourth quarter game. If it's late, it means they're trailing and they're playing from behind, and the Eagles have blown them out. I just don't know which yet. There you go, Prince. Once again, try fucking listening, dickhead. That's what I said. Who's stopping Smitty and AJ and Saquon? The Eagles. If those got Smitty and AJ, I don't care about in this game. It's Saquon. Turn and run the ball. I don't believe Dallas can stop you. I do not believe it. Until otherwise proven, Dallas has to show me they can stop the run. Here's something to think about with Kenny Clark that they just brought in. In the last 3 years, the run defense in Green Bay was 26th this last year. 2 years ago, it was 28th. Help me out on how he's helping the run game, Jerry. Help me out on that. How are you helping your run game? He was no impact. He had no impact at all when it came to run defense. And Jerry's making you try to believe that this guy has and is going to make an impact in the run game. I don't see it, nor do I believe it. Now, keep this in mind. You always have to worry about when it's Philly. Guys, I don't really like saying this. If I were you, I'd let them refs know right away because the NFL wants a good TV show on Thursday night. And I think they're going to try to make this game as close as they possibly can. And it would not shock me if there's going to be a lot of pass interference calls in this game. That favors Dallas. Dallas is going to throw the ball twice as many times as you. That favors the Cowboys. Not saying favors them to win. I'm saying it favors the PI calls. Throw it up. Ja'Cory Bennett and Adoree Jackson are not getting the benefit of the doubt over CeeDee Lamb. They're not. Deron Bland and Diggs might. They might get the benefit. Keep an eye on that. Those guys are not going to get it. You don't give players that are cast-offs benefit of the doubt. They're called Jordan rules. Understand what you're saying about our defense. However, Chris Jones and Mahomes dragged Kansas City to the Super Bowl by themselves. Barring injury, we're working with way more. I think their corners the last couple of years in Kansas City have been really good. And I think Kansas City, I think their edge rushers are better than you. The kid from Purdue, you don't have anybody on your kid. Carl Aftis, you don't have anybody like that on your football team. Chris Jones is still the preeminent and premier defensive tackle in the game. I think still. Colton's still there at linebacker. And they got McDuffie back there. They're a pretty good unit back there. Again, they couldn't withstand the offensive line. They just couldn't stop it. Here's something to keep an eye on. Seals, do you think we see Q travel tonight? You mean Thursday night? I think you're going to see him travel a lot because there's no way you trust CB2 and safety. Safety too. There's no way. Your free safety, you're pretty comfortable with Reed. Your strong safety, no way. Are you comfortable? And what do you have in the middle? You have Cooper in the middle, right? Cooper's got a lot of ground to cover. You better hope them linebackers play well. Because if they don't play well, that zone gets bigger. And there's more open room space for the receivers to create routes. And that means Cooper has to make more plays in open space. Last year, it was limited because of the linebacker drops. If you go back and watch, and I did, and you watch the way that Nakobe and Bond dropped in coverage, they made the zone look like this. That box. Okay? If your linebackers don't cover well, that box gets that big, which means what? You have to make more open field tackles in open space. It creates bad tackling. And you got a safety back there who can't tackle. That's bad for Brown. You've got to tighten that up with them linebackers. Dude, the loss of Dean in pass coverage could be felt in this game. Again, I'm not suggesting to you Dallas is winning this game. I'm suggesting to you Dallas can make the game interesting and get it into the fourth quarter. The loss of Dean will be felt on pass coverage. How in the world? Jahad Campbell's never covered an NFL wide receiver in a regular season game in his entire life. He barely knows the playbook. I mean, that was a rip and read defense at Alabama when he played. This is completely different. Do you think Campbell is more talented than Dean? I do. And I think by week 5, 4, he's going to be up to speed and up to game speed. Week 1, let's see how that works. If I'm Dallas, I'm running the ball at Smith. I'm running the ball at Campbell. I'm running the ball at Jalix Hunt. Why would I run the ball at Davis and Carter up the middle? For what reason? It's like running into a door. I dare Dallas to load the box. Jalen will go off. All right. Well, we'll see. That's exactly what Dallas wants. They want incomplete passes. They want you to throw the ball. It keeps them in the game, and it keeps them close. More pass attempts leads to more 3 and outs. When you run the ball, there are no 3 and outs. 1st and 5. 1st or 2nd and 2. 1st down. 1st and 6-yard gain. 8-yard gain. You're running the clock off. If you're the Cowboys, you want Jalen Hurts. It's the only way for them to win the game. It's the only way. Is to make Jalen have to throw the ball 40 times. Jalen will have 6 completions, 6.6 completions. And in those other 4 incompleted passes, 4.5, Jalen, that's where Dallas will have to try to make their hay. They want that. Leon, do you dare? Well, Dallas is going to do this. You're not going to let the Eagles pitch and catch in that game. You're going to let them do one thing or another. Personally, you want them coming out throwing the ball. You want them to. Because turnovers and higher percentage plays are in passes. Common sense. What do you think has a better chance of a turnover? Somebody throwing a pass or somebody running with the ball? Somebody throwing the ball. Tips, fumbles, INTs, fumble, exchange at the fumble. Run the ball. Game's not going to come down to special teams. You're not that good. You're assuming you're going to keep the game close. Special teams is for teams that are really close. Like, special teams could be a factor in the Kansas City and the Bucs game. In your game, you're not that good. Dude, you're talking Texas guy like you're in the room with the Eagles. I'm talking like what the Cowboys have to do to make it a game. My initial theory, they could be up 14-0 on you in the first 10 minutes. And fucking the game's over. You have no shot to win. They could put in Sam Howell and crush you. Just by handing the ball off the rest of the game. I'll make this point to you. Texas boy, the Eagles could throw the ball 10 times in this game and wax your ass if they felt like it. They could run the ball 50 times and you could not stop it. There's no way. You do not have the personnel to stop them. You could take an old UPenn Rutgers game, like back in the 1920s, and they would crush you 38-0, and it wouldn't be close. You do not have the run-stopping capability of stopping the Philadelphia Eagle run game. So you're making special teams sound like you're close. It's not. Like, special teams is in the Detroit game, a Green Bay game, like that. Buffalo. up there. Okay? The Dallas game? I don't think so. You're right, Sills. People are just acting like Dean could be replaced. Dean's skill set a year ago was playing in space. He really had a great year. He really turned the corner. I'll tell you this point. I think Nakobe Dean showed more about his ability than Nolan Smith did. Do you not agree with that? I think Nakobe had a better year than Nolan. Everyone's glazing over Nolan Smith now. 25 million, 30 million. Well, Nakobe had a better year than he did. Nakobe Dean had a better season. He was a better football player last year than Nolan Smith was. Okay? He did. And his drops were awesome. There was no room to throw the ball to like I said, there were like 2 or 3 tight ends a year ago. Okay? Get this point. Once again, Twiz is a fool. He doesn't get what I'm saying. Dean isn't playing, so now he's a Hall of Fame player. What a fucking douchebag. I just said his loss is going to be felt in pass coverage, asshole. This guy's a fucking tool bag. Nobody said Hall of Fame. He had a great year last year. Hall of Fame. Only a douchebag like this would make that into that. What an absolute ass bag. Seriously, dude, you're an asshat. Sills, if Hunt and Smith can't get to set the edge and force the rush back inside to pursuit, correct. Dallas could have a surprising good night rushing. I don't know who that is, and I don't know what that looks like, though. 2 high safeties. Remember, when you're playing 2 high, Bob, that zone's going to be wide open. Those linebackers underneath have to be a factor in open space and making sure that there's not a lot of room to roam back there, especially with not a very good tackling Sidney Brown. The corners are wide open. That's what Dallas is going to try to do. Dallas wants to play the game on the edges. They want to play the game and the run game on the edges, and they want to play the pass game on the edges. They don't want to play in the middle of the field. I think you're going to see CD out wide more. And that means that you're going to take Q on him, and Q is going to have to travel with him. And I would make this point to you. So if CD travels from the wide to the slot, is Q traveling there, or is he going back and backing into that zone? Is he going to go into the middle of the field and they're going to run crossing routes? You're telling me that Sidney Brown's going to make that play in open space? Here, follow me. So if you have CD here and CD goes and then he travels with him and he lands in the slot, is Q staying there with him? Because if that's the case, you're going to run those crossing routes with George Pickens, and Sidney Brown's going to make that tackle? Never in a million years. That's why them backers have to drop well to cut down that space in the secondary. So I said the loss of Dean in the drop could be felt in this football game. Okay? Okay, he'll stop and go back outside. Okay, well, that's not man. That's a zone defense. That tells the quarterback where the hole is in the secondary. If he does this and he goes and then goes back, he knows then it's zone. And that means he knows where to go and landmark. And that's going to hang on right over at the right corner or over at the free safety. You're giving away and you're tipping off your landmarks in pass coverage if he does do that. So he's going to go, and if he lands in the slot, he's going back outside. Okay. Those linebackers have to drop. That means 2 players who never played it down a year ago in meaningful football games have to do that, in Campbell and Trotter, right? Okay. Well, where do you think Dak's going? Where do you think he's going? I mean, where? So the co-starters, and here's something else to think about with situational substitution now. Now that you have so many starters, you got co-starters basically at Makuba's going to get playing time. I heard he was out there today. So Makuba, you're going to have rotations at safety, you're going to have rotations at linebacker, and you're going to have rotations at corner. Dak's going to do everything in his power to try to catch you in situational transitions. A year ago, you didn't have to deal with that. Why? As I told you all offseason, Milton didn't come off the field. Josh never came off the field. Jacoby never came off the field. CJ never came off the field. And Slay never came off the field. They were able to line up in multiple packages, dime, nickel, base, without ever having substitutional changes. And when they went to third down packages, only guy that came off was Jordan Davis. That's not the case this year. Are you going to be rotating every other series? Hot hand? So Vic's got to be looking at this in this game on Thursday. Who's got the hot hand, right? Corner, safety, and linebacker. Dallas is going to make some yards in this game. Like I said, I'll do it again. It's just going to be a matter of time. Like, if I was Dallas, I'd want the ball. I'd want the football. I don't want to defer it. Let me get on the field. I don't want the Eagle offense on the field first. Not with my defense. I don't want them lining up and drilling a hole in the Cowboys defense because of the loss of Parsons. Hey, just for your information, I found out that not very many people, if any, are very happy with the ownership group of the Dallas Cowboys right now. By the way, Brad Sham's going to join us at 4:30, the legendary voice of the Cowboys. He's been there since Jimmy and them guys. So let me just say, not very happy. And I told you yesterday, it's either going to galvanize or demoralize that Parsons move. Not a lot of people are happy. There's a lot of upset folks in that room. They're trying to put a good face on. And that's why that Deron Bland, that $92 or $96 million deal came down. See, he got paid. Dude, Deron Bland? Micah Parsons? Are you fucking crazy? It's like talking to me about a Ford versus a Ferrari. That's dumb. That guy Bland is not that hot. I got two names for this defense that can't get right defense or the missing parts defense. Can't say that right now, bro. It's September 2nd. You say that September 5th. Not the 2nd. Kyle, I appreciate you, brother. But not right now. Hey, man, Vic may work the magic wand, and it may work. And they may shut the Cowboys. And the biggest nightmare for the Cowboys, in my opinion, is if the Cowboys come out of the game and the first three series, they got 3 and outs. Wow. It'll jack up the crowd. It'll jack up that defense. Everyone will be in a good place because even the defensive guys have to know there's a fucking ton of question marks. You don't even know who really, I mean, get this. Who wins the job at corner, safety, and linebacker? It's still up for debate. Like whoever wins and plays the best is going to be the next week's starter. There's nothing set here now, except that those other premium positions, Carter, Cooper, and Q, and Bond. Those. And Campbell getting better is the biggest guy to watch in this game on Thursday is Campbell. If he starts getting better by the end of the game, and you see that fucking guy getting better by the end of the game, look out. Now, if you see him yanked and you see more if you see more Trotter in this game on Thursday, Campbell's not having a good game. Okay? And there's an issue with the playbook, him not knowing where to line up. But if you see that guy play the majority of it, they're fucking happy with him. You want that. You don't want to see a lot of Trotter in this ball game. You want to see a lot of Campbell in this game. Keep an eye on that. Okay? Just keep an eye on that. Like, if you start to see him, like if he starts the fourth quarter and it's a fourth quarter game, I'm not saying it's going to be yet. I'm not sold this is a fourth quarter game. I buried the lead on you before. I think it's somewhere in like the 31-20 area. And I think they're going to, like, you're going to be up like 31-10 going into the fourth, and the Cowboys are going to score 10 points or whatever, some shit like that. Okay. I'm singing the Cooper song while fly fishing. Good for you, bro. Like if the Cowboys want to be down 14-7 by half, they don't want to be down 21-7. The fucking thing's over. They're coming back on a dominant running team. Nobody comes back on dominant running teams 21-7. You can come back on passing team. Like if the Cowboys had a 21-7 lead at half, Cowboys are still going to get beat by 14 points, 20 points. Okay? Cooper Rush beat an Eagle team that had their practice squad in. Cooper Rush beat a practice squad team that right now is at Philly X putting baggages away. What are you fucking talking about? Bro, you play non-meaningful ball games. This is your most meaningful ball game that you've played in since your last Super Bowl win. This is the biggest game the Cowboys have been in 31 years. You're actually in a game that America's watching like a Super Bowl against the defending champs. And you're the defending chumps. You are the defending chumps. They're the defending champions. Bro, you can say whatever you want about me being dumb. They're the defending champs. They're too much of a whatever to say it. I'll say it for the Eagles and the players. They're the defending champs. You see all that stuff that you've written down there? Okay? I said the Eagles beat Cooper Rush. The Eagles would have beat Dak Prescott or Roger Staubach or Troy Aikman last year. Do you really believe that if you had any of your great players, that you would have beat that fucking team a year ago? After the bye, Texas boy, that team beat the fuck out of everybody. Just crushed them. The season was over after the bye. It was never close. They whooped them. Right, Prince? After the bye, they annihilated teams. I heard the Eagles pre-ordered 53 caskets for Thursday. I like that mentality. All good. Get this. This fool can't read and blind even with glasses. Bro, I may not be able to read. I may not be able to see very well. But one thing you can't rationalize very well. You suck. All those may be true about me. But you You're delusional. At least I'm not. Okay? At least I'm not delusional. Okay? You're right. I may not be able to read. I may not be able to see. But I can see the fact that you suck. And the Cowboys have been irrelevant for 32 years. You're fucking nuts, guy. Folks, he's right. Can't read. Can't see. Well, I know this about the Cowboys. I see enough where you stink. And if you're in this game on Thursday, I will make this point to you. A lot went wrong for Philly. And if Philly loses this game Thursday, you know what I'm really going to say? Now, if they get killed, that's one thing. They lose 27-24, and I don't believe they are. But if they did, I'd be like, oh, well, those secondary issues are probably really going to be more needing to be addressed by Howie now. Now they have to do something here because there's problems, and there's bigger problems on the defense. It'll mean that offense turned the ball over. They didn't have a very good day. But they're going to lose that game because the Eagles lost that game, not because the Cowboys beat them. I mean, a loss is a loss. Spoken like a true laureate. A loss is a loss. As the soliloquies read here in good old fucking London, a loss is a loss. Holy shit. Now you sound like Ken DeBoer, that shitty Alabama coach that Xander has. Yeah. Hey, I will tell you what I wouldn't want to be this year is watching that Alabama Commodores. That's what that shit looks like. Alabama looks like the Alabama Commodores, like the Vanderbilt Commodores. Hey, that's going to be a big game this year. Vandy versus Bama. The get-back game. Shit, they make bombs at Vanderbilt. Yeah, and debate teams. They got a great baseball program. I mean, they're beating Bama now? Fucking everyone's beating Bama. Hey, you know they played at one school. What is it? What is that, Tennessee Chattanooga? That would be a big game this year. I'm a long-time viewer of the show, but to push back on your statement on Dean's cover skills, what changed then in 23 when initially you were critical of his coverage, and does Bond help? Both is right, and Vic also, being the linebacker guru that he is, saved his and Nolan Smith's career. Better coaching. Better coaching. Outside of that Tampa game, there's an argument that could be made. We go 16-1 outside of 2 drop passes. We beat everyone. I don't believe those first 4 games you looked very good. I believe if you started the season out running the ball, you probably would have lost 1 ball game. Instead of pretending that you were some sort of high volume passing attack, which you're not. If you would have started the Green Bay game out running the ball the way you did the rest of the season, you probably do lose 1 game. But because you beat yourselves in those first 4 games and you look like shit turning the ball over, you thought you were this high-powered motion offense, that they were running all that motion. They got into that bye and they said, we're going to stop the motion. We're just going to hand the ball off. Get the ball out of the quarterback's hand. Let's go fucking win games. And they did. And that's why Barkley's number 1. Sills, why are you always living in the past? I'm not sure what this douchebag's talking about. What, the Cowboys? Bro, why do you post dumb things? And I may not be able to read, but you post non-coherent things. Like only a fucking retard could maybe dissect. What do you think he meant? Well, no, I think I got it. Maybe somebody that's a translator in that, somebody who knows like complete retard can like translate that to me. Well, he meant this, Hills. Oh, it's up there. Oh, got it. Wrote it down. I got to take the P off, right? Okay. Somebody in here, I'm sure, could translate retard. Okay. Sales, who's covering Lamb when he travels depends on where Coop is playing. If Lamb moves inside or Coop is the nickel, we're fine. If Coop is forced to play cornerback 2, then Q sticks with CD. Okay, well, let's see how that plays out. Okay? I look at Bama like New England Patriots. That's right. That's right. Was it going to last forever? Okay, that's right. I mean, Xander thinks this thing was going to go on. It didn't. It ran out of gas after Bear Bryant. Bear Bryant had 25 insane years at Bama. And then you went to Ray Perkins, Gene Stallings. You went to that group. You went through another bunch of guys. And you went to Mike Shula. Then you finally landed on Nick Saban. You had about 20 years of non-relevant football at Alabama. Okay, those guys didn't follow one another. Okay? These guys didn't follow. So there was a giant gap. Let's not forget something about New England. Prior to the Belichick dynasty, I mean, you were in the land of Steve Grogan. You were not like a really great place. You weren't. Saban knew that Nil was going to change college football. Hard to build a dynasty like Bama again. Well, now you're seeing Mike Gundy, the Oklahoma State head coach, crying about the Oregon guy, Dan Lanning, because they spent a ton of money on, buying players for Oregon's football team. Well, welcome to the real world. He doesn't have T-Bone Pickens anymore. T-Bone Pickens was one of the greatest investors of all time, and he was pumping money into the Oklahoma State football program, and that's why they were starting to beat programs like OU. Well, once he died, that money's kind of dried up a bit, and they're back to being 7-8 win Oklahoma State Cowboys again. And you're seeing Oregon with the Nike Phil Knight money. And by the way, Phil Knight has put an endowment in there that when he's gone, Nike money still gets funneled into the football program. Who would have ever thought Oregon's a bigger program now than USC? It's a bigger football program. They have more money. They have more resources. They have the biggest shoe company on the planet that supports them. All the rest of the colleges around the country, half of them at least, wear Nike. And you support that program. Think about it. If you have a Nike school, you're supporting Oregon football. That money goes into Oregon. Okay? Phil Knight has an endowment. All the money that's generated. There's millions and millions of dollars going into the Ducks program. They're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger with Nil. Bigger. See this here? Ohio State? Ohio State in 5 years won't have the money to compete with Oregon. I just won't. Or Oregon, again, you have Nike. You don't have Ohio State. The only reason, this is why Joe Klatt is so like a honk. Joe Klatt doesn't really cover college football. He covers Big Ten football. And he roots for Big Ten football because it's a Fox property. He doesn't root for the best teams. It's a television network battle now. ESPN has the Southeastern Conference and the ACC. Fox has the Big Ten. This is a television network battle now. Whoever has that game, like that was a grand slam for Fox. That Ohio State-Texas game, huge game for Fox Television and Fox Sports. Because Fox carries Big Ten. SEC football is ESPN. They got it away from CBS. You're wrong. CBS no longer has it. It's ESPN now. No, they don't. CBS does still. No, that happened a year and a half ago. CBS lost the big. They lost the SEC. They cut a TV deal with ESPN. Okay. CBS does not have the Big Ten. Fox, the NFL, college football on Fox is Big Ten. Bro, I'm not debating something. You have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, okay, whatever. You're right. CBS has it. Fox has a deal with Fox. Fox has a deal with the Big Ten. Give me a break. So I asked AI, who's the biggest threat to world peace? And they answered Bob Lang. That's hilarious. Absolutely. That's hilarious. Look, man, this game on Thursday has some intriguing notions and comments to it. On paper, it's an ass beating. It is. Sirianni doesn't want to see the banner drop. It's about him, not the team. Just to control his emotions. He doesn't want to cry again. Sure. I want to see the banner. Guys, you can't see the banner. Like, hey, you can't see the banner, guys. I thought Herb Brooks is coaching the team now. It's one thing if Herb Brooks is coaching the team. You got Nick Sirianni. I don't want to see the banner. Nobody's allowed to say repeat. You can't do anything. No. Who's starting the corner? Ooh. Guess who's starting the corner? Dion or Rod Woodson? Man, got to worry about both them guys. Who's starting the corner? Rod Woodson or Dion? No, Sills. It's Jacorian Bennett, and it's Adoree Jackson. Who? No. It's got to be Rod Woodson and Dion. No. It's the guy they traded for with the Raiders and the guy that got off the street walking down in South Philly, Adoree Jackson. It's between those two guys. Eric Allen, right. So they're starting Eric Allen or Dion. Shit. All right. No. It's Bennett or Jackson. Hey, Coach, am I allowed to wear my ring? No. Coach, am I allowed to wear anything championship? No. Absolutely not. Are you allowed to wear any championship Eagle gear? The Philadelphia Eagle players are barred from wearing any hats that say World Champs on it. As a matter of fact, I haven't seen one Philadelphia Eagle in a hat or a T-shirt that does say that. It's probably a prerequisite now from big old Bob Lang that you can't wear the gear. You can't talk about it. It's a secret. Listen, children, you're not allowed to go out for that banner falling. And then the head coach, it's classic. Hey, Nick, it's banner night Thursday. What? You got to be kidding me. It's banner night. What's banner night? I mean, I never heard of it. We didn't know it was banner night. The whole city's talking about the banner falling in 48 hours. And everybody being excited about seeing it. But, Nick, either he's not in touch with the fan base or doesn't know anything about Philly, or he's just being a liar. Pick one. They're both dumb. I don't know anything about Thursday. I had never seen anything like it in my life. It's banner night? No. No, it's Philly cheesesteak night. The entire world knows it's banner night because the NFL's starting their season. But Nick's like, what? You see that look, too? Tell you what, he's becoming a good actor. We don't know anything, but I don't know anything about it. Shit, I've never seen anything like it in my life. Xander Krause has been talking about Banner Night. I don't fucking know anything about Banner Night. Oh, my God. Everybody on the planet knows it's Banner Night. Oh, and by the way, we have a new rule on this program. You're not allowed to say the words repeat champs or defending champions. You can't do that because Bob Lang and the Eagles forbodden it. They are forbodden. It is forbidden to speak about last year's championship team. Hey, it's driving me. And here's Vic Fangio now. Yep. I don't know. Who's starting? I don't know. Hey, who's playing safety? I don't know. Hey, who's lining up? I don't know. We got co-guys everywhere. What do you mean you got co-guys? Then we got co-starters now. What? The co-starter defense. Wow. I can't wait. Man. And now, folks, actually, that rule doesn't exist. You can use the words repeat. We're not afraid here to use the words repeat. We're not afraid to see the banner fall here on JAKIB. We're very proud to see the banner fall. Unlike the Eagles, they're afraid or something. Without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, co-host of Birds 365, my friend Big Z, who's not afraid to see the banner fall. It's banner night Thursday, in case anyone didn't know, except for Nick. Big Z, how you doing, bro?
What's up, Big Sills? A beautiful football Tuesday as we are just over 2 days away, man, from the NFL. Can you believe it? In all seriousness, Sills, the NFL season is upon us already, brother. I am super jacked up about it.
Did the offseason go fast?
Oh, so fast, dude. So fast. I mean, I almost like I blinked and it was upon us. But I'm happy about it. That's what happens when you're champions, everybody. Not only do you win, but you actually get a shorter off season too. All right. And you get to revel in the glory.
No. You get to revel. The team doesn't.
Oh, no. Well, they get to a little bit. I mean, they had their fun. They went to the White House. They were on GQ. They were on The View. Come on. They were doing their thing a little bit, Sills.
But now they're not allowed to talk about it or go out there on the field and watch the banner fall.
Well, I can respect the approach. The thing I don't like about it is I don't like being fake. And just say you're focused. Don't say it's banner night. Dude, it's been banner night. First game of the year has been banner night every year for how many fucking years? I mean, seriously. You know, don't lie to me. I'm not stupid. Just say our guys are focused on the game. We're not going to be out on the field for the banner, but I hope all the fans enjoy it. You know, come on, be real. Don't be fake. Don't blow smoke up my ass. But I get it. I don't really care. I think it's good, but
I think it's stupid.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really care as much, but as you do.
Listen, I don't either. It's stupid. But John's
you love
point,
shit like this. So you love.
I think John made a great point today. The whole starting thing, this shit's stupid. It's just dumb. It's like controlling. Bro, let me ask you this, Anna. As a Philadelphian yourself, you're going to sit there and watch the Philadelphia fan base at Lincoln Financial in a proud moment and a civic pride moment. Wouldn't you want your players out there getting and receiving the love of the city? Because here's what's going to happen with you. You know what Xander's going to do? If that team's down 10-7, hey, fuck you, that offense sucks.
Well, no, I actually don't. I don't have a problem with them not going out there. I don't have a problem with that because remember, we talked about they got a 35%.
That's a fans' moment, though.
I know, but they got that's for the fans. I mean, they got a 35% new roster. The last thing you want is dudes out there oohing and on and stargazing and all this bullshit. You know, lock in. This is a new year and a new football team on a new journey. Now,
they know that.
I know that. And that's where I would have rather had Nick the comment of I didn't know it was banner night is the only thing I would have changed.
What banner night? I don't know what it's.
I didn't know it was banner night. Nick, who the hell are you fooling? Apparently, a lot of people in the chat he's fooled. All you numbnuts. I mean, I don't know. I don't really care because I don't have a problem with them not going out there. But It was interesting to say you don't know. I mean, you obviously know what you obviously know that it's banner night.
Oh yeah, I do live for shit like that. Let me ask you this one though. Are you concerned about this though? So now Landon Dickerson's got a bad back. Where are we going here?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you
Two knee surgeries and a back issue now?
Well, he was back out there today, right?
Okay, that was kind of a walkthrough kind of deal today, though, right? They were in helmets and shorts. I mean, they weren't practicing. I mean, it wasn't like he was stressed in any way. Do you think they're just throwing him out there, knowing full well they're not playing him? For an organization that's very cautious in the protecting of players, you think this is a little gamesmanship that they got him out there and they got the Cowboys thinking? Because, bro, if you got 2 surgeries in the offseason, you've done everything in your power to get yourself ready for at least the beginning of the season, whether that means Dallas won or whether that means Kansas City won for you. Dude, Landon's important for the drive of the Super Bowl, not for fucking the Dallas game.
Yeah, it might be some gamesmanship. I mean, I don't think it matters. This is where I think John is right, where like it's just like, does this stuff really matter? Like if you're the Cowboys, you're planning for Dickerson. And if Dickerson's not there, you're better. I mean, you're better off if he's not there. So it's like I don't really understand the point of going through the gamesmanship, but I don't know. Dickerson is a beastie dude. He is a dude that will probably try and play through anything. I mean, I remember watching him all through college, everything. I mean, he's always been the type of dude that wants to play through everything. And you got to respect somebody with that type of mentality because not every player, actually probably most players, don't have that mentality. So I definitely love Dickerson for that reason. But it's definitely, I mean, look, so you got a 350-pound guy with knee problems and back problems. I mean, look, I'm not going to make a lot out of it. I think he's going to be fine for the 2025 season. But there could be a problem we're talking about in 26 or 27 here. You know what I mean? Or 28. I mean, we'll see how it develops. I think it's something to monitor. But overall, I'm not too worried about it. And I think if there's any real concern at all, I wouldn't play him in Dallas or for versus Dallas. I would not play him versus Dallas. You don't win Super Bowls in September.
No,
all right?
No. I mean, especially that team. I mean, I there's no reason to play that guy.
And Kakela brings up a good point. We have a mini bye. Remember, we start on Thursday, and then we have next Sunday.
It's
so
10 days.
We do have a mini bye to start the year. It's true, Kakela, which almost maybe gives them a little bit more time before they get in a rhythm. There is a negative to that too, but overall, you want more rest for sure.
What do you make of this stuff? Starters with like the corner, the fucking linebackers. I mean, the safety. I mean,
what Eagles do? We got so many good players who can't keep them all on the bench.
Oh, so now we got Bennett and Jackson and Kumped into the Bond and the Carters now, right?
Yep, Bennett, baby. Bennett coming in.
Hey, Bennett. Hey, folks, Bennett and Jackson are now clumped in with Q and Cooper.
Well, no, I think what they're trying to do is I think they're trying to have somebody go out there and earn it and win it. Remember, last 4 weeks, I think, last year, I don't think they want to repeat that, but I think there's integral lessons you can take from your team in the first 4 weeks. And if you don't open your eye to what they are, you could miss them. And I think maybe the Eagles are coming in with the approach of, Adoree Jackson's not our starter. He's our starter today, right? If Jakorian still has time, I don't think it's a bad thing to go through some of those processes before you have to rip the Band-Aid off. If eventually it gets to the point where you got to stick to who you are because the other guy's just not better, well, then I hope they own it and try and make the most out of it in that situation. But remember, Jakorian got here only a couple weeks ago. Jahad Campbell wasn't really ready for a lot of the rookie camp and the OTAs. He wasn't really ready till training camp, and he wasn't a full participant in the entirety of training camp. Safety, similar, where Sydney's been there, but they didn't really want him to win the job. But Makuba missed so much time, you can't really make him the starter. So, with a rookie player, you probably don't default to him as easy. So I think each of those different spots actually requires a little bit more context. But, it's something to watch. I don't think they know yet. I think Vic feels like he knows, but I don't think he wants to shut the door on the other alternatives in case it goes, the wrong way.
I get one position where a guy hasn't solidified himself. You got 3. There's 3. I mean, we're talking about 3 different positions that you're not sold on yet on who your starter is, or to go by what you just said, who you want to see grab hold of it after this game and make a statement that you're the guy. So you're going into game week wanting guys to win a job versus the Cowboys and not having at least having a guy go like this. Even with us watching, Brown didn't outplay Makuba. Makuba actually didn't. Probably the only reason he's not starting is because he's been injured too much. The cornerback position has never been solidified. The linebacker position, probably this. Look, Campbell's better. Trotter probably knows the system better. And I would make this point to you about the linebacker spot. Xander, you want to see more Campbell on Thursday night. Because if Campbell's playing more,
bigger upside.
That means they're happy with what they're seeing because they want him to be in there because they can do more with him. If you see more Trotter in there, that's not a good look for Campbell. He still has a lot to learn then. I want to see more of Campbell by the end of that ball game. Okay,
well,
so there's 3 spots that
I think that's the right read.
Hold of.
I think that's the right read. I mean, the corner spot, I think we all know this. I mean, this was what they opted to do. They couldn't pay. They didn't want to pay Slay. They're obviously in a bit of a crunch, and they were hoping on Keely Ringo. Ringo didn't win the job, and they defaulted to the veteran they signed and brought in a cheap, young, upside player. And if the cheap, young, upside player – I think about it like this. Jacorian Bennett is replacing Keely Ringo in terms of the young upside corner that they're looking for. Now, they didn't draft him. He might not go and get a second contract, but the Eagles like to keep young guys with upside. That's what they like to do. They look for every spot with that. I mean, they just traded for Sam Howell. They do all this at every position. Young guys that have maybe a potential in the future, they like to acquire. So they brought in Bennett because I think they realized that Ringo, remember this is year 3 for Ringo. I think they realized that it's probably over for Ringo and Philly in terms of being a cornerback. Now, they'll probably use him for the next 2 years as a special teamer. Maybe he makes the team next year. I'm not sure. We'll have to see what happens. But I think Jacorian comes in for that reason. And right now they've defaulted to always the insurance policy dating back to the start of free agency was Adoree Jackson. They signed Adoree Jackson to be the insurance policy. They needed insurance. So the insurance is being used. They are looking for a way to get off the insurance, but there's no guarantee that they will do that, and they might have to prevail with a guy like Adoree. By the way, Adoree might make more sense for this defense right now.
You're doing all this in a condensed time frame, though, compared to 8 months worth of work with those other guys. You understand? You're being confined to finding out with those 2 guys because you're not happy with the guys you had for 8 months. You're doing this in a rush a little bit here, Xander. Would you not agree? How many weeks has Bennett been an Eagle? 4? Okay.
Yeah, we got him about maybe even a little less. I think we got him about a week later than the start of August.
In 3 weeks, you're confining all of that 8-month work that you had with guys that were on your roster.
Well, I mean, it's a culmination. So part of that is legislated by the league. I mean, they can't really do a lot in the offseason.
No. I'm talking about you had guys on your team who you thought were going to be able to compete for safety and for corner. And right now, going into this game 48 hours from now, you got co-starters at 3 different key spots.
Safety is different than corner. Like corner, I just explained.
It's the same issue.
Yeah, but corner, I just explained that who they were relying on fell flat, and that's Ringo. And that's where Jacorian Bennett came in, and that's where the insurance policy came in. Now, safety, I don't really think that Makuba has proven to not work. I just don't think he's healthy.
That's right.
So that's what the holdup is there. And I don't think, honestly, I think Makuba's been the better player through camp when he's on the field.
I think so.
Yeah, so I don't think it's a problem.
And I trust him more in space on tackling.
Now, if you want to hit me with this, Sills, I'll buy it. That kid's not going to stay healthy.
No.
If you want to hit me with that, that is a concern that, as an Eagle fan, I feel to some extent. I'm hopeful that Sidney Brown can be a reliable enough safety if Makuba can't stay healthy. But look, when Makuba was drafted on draft night, I expressed a little bit of concern about the size. Now, I didn't know much about the player. I did watch him in college a little bit last year. He played at Texas, obviously, last year. He was a good player. He was a really good player. And being a player was never his issue. And I don't think it's going to be his issue in the pros. But if you think you're going to lay the wood and hard hit in the NFL, at 180 pounds, you're not going to go very far. I mean, think
I
about
thought
that.
he had better. I
180
thought he had
pounds?
a better season at Clemson than he did at Texas a year ago. But
Well, he was in a different role. He was in a different role. I think they
they run
allowed him
different
to play
teams
in
there.
space more in Texas, and that's why he kind of boosted the draft stock. So it was a different role, but I honestly don't worry about him when it comes to playing the football on the football field. I don't.
It's
I look.
availability.
It's availability and it's the size and whatever what that looks like. I think is a fair concern, but I'm not as worried about about him playing. I think he's actually going to be a fine player, and I think Vic is going to get the most out of that player. But Vic can only do that if he can stay healthy.
You're doing this in a rush period, though. These first 4 games are going to be interesting to see how this and these co-starters and who grabs these positions at corner, safety, and at linebacker. I'm hoping Campbell. Okay. By the way, of the 2 rotating edge guys, who do you think in the next 4 weeks is going to have a bigger role? Uche or Ojulari?
Uche. Well, Uche was on the injury report yesterday. Was he on the injury report again today?
I didn't check it.
Let me double check that injury report today because
they're going to need a rotator, right? After Jalix Hunt and Nolan, right? They're going to need a rotator.
I think they're both better at different things, and Uche has had a better camp, and I think Vic has talked about him a little bit more, and I don't know, that means something with Vic, so maybe Vic likes him a little bit more. Now, Ojulari probably does better some of the other things, but he wasn't really good at it in the offseason. Like I thought coming in before watching him in the preseason, I thought Ojulari is a little bit more of a well-rounded edge rusher. And Uche is a guy you might be able to pin his ears back and tell him to go get the quarterback here and there, right? But Ojulari looked like dog shit, honestly, at setting the edge and stopping the run in the preseason. He was terrible at it. Now, Uche was never supposed to be that. So I didn't expect that from Uche, but we'll see. I mean, dude, they're relying on Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith.
Oh, yeah, to carry them out.
To really take steps forward.
Yeah.
They're
expecting them to replace Josh Sweat.
Yeah. I mean, they're expecting those guys. I mean, no, think about this, though. Josh Sweat was Josh Sweat, and he had depth behind him. He had Nolan. He had Brandon Graham. He had even Bryce Huff earlier in the year. Didn't play great, obviously, but it was a piece of depth. They had Jalix as the 5.
They were so deep they didn't need him.
So you're now relying on Jalix, but you're also relying on them with very limited guys behind them. That makes the guys up front, that makes their job a little harder. And the other thing I don't like about our edges, man, they're just small. They're small, dude. They're not, I don't know. They're not bulky, big, edge rushers that look like they're going to dominate and set the edge and do what you need them to do and disrupt the front. Now Nolan has proven he is much better at stopping the run and setting the edge than his size would show you. And Jalix is a bigger frame who I think he can grow into a little bit more of a beefier, stockier player. But right now, they're small dudes, man. I'd like to get a little bit more of an anchor over there. I don't know, though. It's late now.
Hunt hasn't seen a lot of football.
No, he hasn't. And anybody that tells you you're wrong about that, it doesn't know. I mean, that guy has not seen a lot of football. Now, listen.
Now, he's seen big-time football lately because of where he's been, because of the playoffs.
Very sparse, Sills. He played his latest college ball at Houston Baptist or Houston Christian, whatever it's called.
You got it.
So, has not seen a lot of football, and that's a big projection for a guy that was playing safety a couple years ago at an Ivy League. All right, to be a star edge rusher. I mean, think about it. This defense is going to rely on those edge rushers to play their role well.
Absolutely.
Now, let me ask you this. I got a question for you on the edge rushers, because you've talked a lot about, and you've added a lot of context to, edge rushers and maybe them being a touch overrated in today's game. And I appreciate.
I think it's more interior that you really need guys in the middle.
Right. Do you think the Eagles are coaching these guys up to maybe do less? I'm not saying don't be good. I'm saying they don't need them. They're not coaching them to go be the splashy, make this big jump. All they want is be a solid edge on the edge. Set the edge, stop the run and open up pursuit, open up angles for the interior guys.
It's a really great observation by you, and it's true. This is what they're doing. It's not being coached not to do anything. They're looking for a skill set player that does this. He can drop. He sets the edge well. Maybe not the greatest pass rusher, but he'll get me 6. He's a guy who could take on tight ends.
Right.
Okay? They're looking for Josh Sweats. They're not looking for Trey Hendrickson's and Max Crosby's. You know why? If Howie was, he'd have one. They aren't looking for that. So it's not being coached that. They're drafting, and their style of play is dictating that type of player. I've been saying it for 2 years. You don't need a dominant edge to win a Super Bowl. The last 10, there's not been one on those teams that have won a Super Bowl. Not one of the premier edge rushers. But look at the DTs. Aaron Donald, Jalen Carter, Chris Jones. Go down the list, Fletcher Cox, Vince Wilfork. All these guys, the last 10, have been dominant in the inside, and they've been functional on the edges. All these big high-priced guys that are making $40 million, they're nowhere near an AFC championship game. Why am I going to spend $42 million on a guy like Micah Parsons when at the end of the day, my position is corner, DT. The biggest problem Dallas has is that Mozzie Smith has sucked. Not getting rid of, if Mozzie Smith would have panned out, that move of Parsons to Green Bay, it looks a lot better. Okay, Xander, do you think there's any coincidence why you didn't draft an edge? You didn't even draft an edge, and you went out and got spare part edges in the offseason. You know why? That's not what they're looking for. They're not looking for James Pierce. They're not looking for Mike Green. They're not looking for any of that. Or they would have, Howie would have drafted it. Right? Howie would have drafted it.
I agree. And with that being said, do you think that enables or gives a better chance for guys like Nolan and Jalix to make the type of jump you need? Right? Because you're not asking them to do
No,
this.
I'm not asking you to be a 20-sack guy.
No, need to be Myles Garrett, Michael Parker, any of these guys that get after the quarter. Now, pressure's good. It's an added bonus, but the most important part about what you do is setting the edge and letting the interior guys eat.
2 players, I think, changed the mentality of the Eagles. Follow me, Xander. Bryce Huff and Hassan Reddick. You know why? You paid a guy to be a dominant pass rusher, and he was great. But what was the one thing he couldn't do? Couldn't drop. He could barely play the run. He wasn't great. Bryce Huff, you spent $17 million on that guy.
And he couldn't
you got nothing out of it.
And he couldn't do the shit that you just
explained. Said this in week 2. You went like this to me. Sills, he's a liability on the run. When those other 2 guys got out there, Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt and BG last year, nobody was talking about liability on the edge.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. They're not dude, the Myles Garretts and all those guys are fucking great players. If you have interior and corner play, like Myles Garrett on our team or your team, your Eagle team, he's sensational. He would be, because you have 2 dominant tackles inside. For you to have a great edge, you have to have great DT play. And if you don't, look at Green Bay. So they struggle now. This Kenneth Clark deal, last 3 years. 2 years ago, they were 26th against the run. I looked it up. Last year, they were 28th. Bro, that's who you traded Michael Parsons for? I'll tell you, I don't get it. Now, I will do this to you. The NFL, week 1 is a week of liars. Always remember, it's a liar's week. You never really know what you're going to get when you see that, okay? Yeah. Because look at New Orleans a year ago. They got up to a 3-0 start. Everyone's like, holy shit, right?
Which again, I think is the biggest advantage for the Cowboys in this game.
It is.
It's week 1.
This is where I'm going. Do the Cowboys have any advantages?
Well, I think
in
the
this
week
game,
1,
in your opinion,
because whenever you're a worse team, I think you have, if you're a bad team and you play a good team week 1, that is by default an advantage for the bad team. No doubt. Now, it's not good teams, better teams going to win if they play right, if they do what they have to do. So I don't think it's like an advantage on the field or anything like that, but it's just one of those things where the unknown, the rust factor, the unpredictable nature of week one. Last year, remember, we did have 3 turnovers in week one game last year, and we won the game. Now, it was in Sao Paulo, but still, week one can be unpredictable. The ball can bounce funny ways, and I think that is always a benefit for the worse team. But advantage-wise, I mean, they got an advantage at corner. At wide receiver on our corner. I mean, You're telling me that CeeDee Lamb, all right, let's say he's outside. Let's say, and George Pickens is on the other side. Does anybody really feel good about Adoree Jackson covering George Pickens? I mean, I'm not. I think the Fangio defense, they'll drop the safeties way back. They'll force them to beat them underneath or in the running game,
and that's linebacker drops,
right? And I think the way you play it is easy. But you asked me specifically for an advantage. I think George Pickens on cornerback 2 in Philly is an advantage. Now, if CeeDee goes to the slot and plays in the slot and tries to beat up on Cooper DeJean, which he might get the better of him here and there. I think it's a good matchup, but I think he might get the better of him here and there. Cooper's still going to be good, but that's what happens in the NFL. You're not going to stop everybody, man. It's just how it goes. Now do you maybe have Quinyon traveling on the outside with George Pickens? Because I love Quinyon and George Pickens. I think that's a matchup made for Quinyon Mitchell. I really do. A physical receiver, a big mouth, a dude who, thinks his shit doesn't stink, a dude who wants to beat you and make you feel it. I think Quinyon would thrive in that environment. But the easy way to mitigate that if you're Dallas is just put CeeDee on the outside, who's been almost as productive outside as he has inside. So I think they have the advantage there. But outside of that, dude, I don't think they have another advantage football-wise on the team.
If Landon doesn't play, it's a push inside.
On the interior?
Yeah, it's a push.
Maybe. I could see that. I mean, they did add Kenny Clark.
Dean and Tooth or Toth, whatever, that's not an advantage.
No, that's not good. I think Dickerson's going to play, but I hope if he's got any concern, I hope he doesn't. I think we need that guy a lot more in weeks 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to week 18 and 19 in the playoffs than we do, now in Dallas for banner drop. I think it's you got to prioritize the right way. But they will, and they've always done that. So I have no reason to believe they wouldn't prioritize him the right way. But he was a full go at practice today, so probably going to play. And you're in good shape there. I don't think it's an advantage.
Okay, how about this? So if what you just said, I think you're going to see, and this is what I would do if I were Dallas. I would try to beat the Eagles on the numbers, not in the middle of the field. Because to me, I think that safety position is yet to be determined on who and how it's going to play out. And I think that one corner too. So let me ask you this. If you put CeeDee out here and you've got Quinyon Mitchell and you say he's going to travel, is Q going to travel all the way to the slot? Is that what we're going to do?
No, see, that's the one spot I don't think Q would go would be the slot. Because
guess what happens? If he moves back then, right, and he goes back to zone, that helps Dak out knowing where the landmarks are and knowing where the free and strong safety are. So you've got to be cognizant of that.
You can big spring safety help for any of the corners that you have in zone there. I agree with you. If you have a good quarterback, tell Tom Brady you're going to run a zone on. I mean, he's going to pick you apart, man.
Absolutely.
So I get it. And if Dak
saw Sam Howell go for 800 yards.
Now, did you happen to hear my interview this morning on Birds 365 with John Machota?
I didn't get to it. I got all the way up to it.
Yeah. Okay. So he is a Cowboy beat reporter for the Athletic, and he gave some really good intel on that football team and where they kind of thrive and don't thrive. And he said, I was really curious when George Pickens got here how he was going to mesh with Dak, because we've had receivers in Dallas that Dak did not mesh with. Brandon Cooks, he named, who's a good player, just wasn't the right receiver for Dak. And then you have guys like CeeDee, who from day one, Dak and CeeDee were on the same page. George Pickens showed up, and day one, Dak and CeeDee looked better. But by the end of training camp, they all looked just as like Dak and George were firing. So I think that's definitely something to watch in this football game. I mean, what kind of chemistry do those guys have, and what can they do, and how do they exploit it? But again, probably going to shade the safety, bring them in help. The question there would be, is the safety going to be Sidney Brown?
That's my question. I mean, you're not
Probably
getting
not, right?
no. You're going to put Makuba back there.
No, but even if it's either
Or you're going to take Cooper out of the
or will it be would it be Reed? Because it'll probably be that right cornerback if Quignon's left where Slay was.
That's right. Yes.
So it'll probably be Reed helping him out over there.
You think they'll flip the safeties?
I don't think so. Why would you think about it? Why would you want the lesser experienced safety with the lesser experienced corner?
Because I trust Q over there in more open space over there with a lesser safety over there because I think that guy could cover more open space. I don't believe the corner, and I don't believe that safety, you can have this. Look, a lesser experienced safety, a lesser experienced corner, not as good, and Cooper in the middle. Remember, I got Cooper on the right side in the middle. I trust Q to cover. If you're going to travel Q, dude, that means you trust that guy in space, that he's going to get the ball carrier on the ground. He's probably your third best defensive football player.
We got updates on injury.
Player.
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to give him more responsibility because I think that guy can play out there in space.
No, I hear you. I just wonder who they're going to use to help if they do use somebody to help and how they would want that to go. So we do have update stills on the injury report, and it looks pretty good for the Birds.
Okay.
All right. Landon Dickerson, Andrew Makuba, Josh Uche, all upgraded to full participants today. Jalen Carter remained a full participant, and the only person who did not practice today was Tanner McKee with that right thumb injury. No limited participants in practice today. So with the walkthrough tomorrow, that's probably the final injury. Well, I think we get an injury report still tomorrow.
Another one. Yeah, you get another one.
But looks pretty good. Looks pretty good for the Birds in terms of health coming into this game.
What's the one thing you're going to be eyeballing in this game? What's the one thing you want to see in this game against Dallas? Hear me out here on this. I think Dak Prescott, and I tried saying this earlier, some folks didn't follow along. I said Dak's going to throw for over 320 yards, and CD's going to get over 100. Now, are they going to be quality yards? If you're getting yards early, the Cowboys are in the ball game. But I'm going to say this. I think I heard, maybe I did hear your guy because I heard him say they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. And they're going to be playing from behind.
Yeah, well,
so you're going to see a shitload of yards and a shitload of reception yards in this game. But will it be? I'm still in the 30-20, 31-20 room. I'm not. I think they're going to get shit late. I don't believe.
I think 31-20 is a decent score. I don't think that's a bad score at all. I think that's probably pretty close to where I might be. I do think we beat them up. I mean, I don't think that team can hang. I don't. Now, I just don't see it, dude. Like right now, I don't see it. Now, I know you have the NFC East element, all right, but week one, that's an element in the Cowboys' favor. But other than that, I really feel like we're just a better team than them.
Do you really know who the Cowboys are, though, right now?
No, and I think that goes into the advantage of them for them right now.
I got to know what the Eagles are, right?
What you definitely know is what the Eagles' offense is. You don't know what the defense is. You know what the Eagles' offense is.
Okay, well, then if I'm winning the coin toss, I'm not giving that offense the first go at it to run me off the fucking scoreboard. I'm going to get my offense out there immediately, and I want to try to keep my offense and keep your defense on the field and keep your offense off the field. That would be a priority for me. Why would I want to do this, Xander? Hey, put your boxing gloves on and knock the shit out of me for about 10 plays. Why would I do that? To try to what? To try to fucking put that defense that's already question marks because you traded Michael Parsons? There's too many question marks on that side of the ball. Your strength of your football team, if you have one, it's on your offense, right?
Bro, we might beat the brakes off them.
You don't believe that the Eagle offense is going to start slow?
It depends. I mean, if Landon Dickerson's not out there, which it looks like he's going to be out there, I'm not really predicting that the Cowboys are going to be able to stop the Eagles' run game because they added Kenny Clark. I'm just not. I don't see it. So if the run game is going and you're controlling the clock and you're controlling the line of scrimmage again, in what world is Dallas going to be able to compete with that? I don't see it. Run the ball, control the clock, don't turn the football over, and the Eagles will walk out of there with an easy win. That's what I think. I think it's a simple game plan week one. I really do.
My question is going to be also how healthy is Landon?
Well, that's a fair question. I mean, he got surgery a couple weeks ago, for crying out loud.
And I mean, he can't be 100% in that game. Are you telling me still you have the advantage with a 60%?
He's not 100%. Why play him?
That's my – okay, I'm going to assume because the Eagles are very safe.
Yeah, I think they got to get –
he's got to be 90.
Yeah. I think you got to get – I know you don't like to do this.
No, I agree with you. I agree. He can't be less than that. He can't be less.
I mean, the Eagles aren't going to play him if there's any injury, if there's risk, any risk associated. At least I don't think they would. But I don't know. I mean, I think Landon's good to go, though.
Here's the only thing that this kid – I heard John say it. Here's the only thing that the kid can give the Cowboys is your audible system. Now, will the Eagles change the audible system because Trevor Keegan was there for a couple of years and the audible?
Dude, Trevor Keegan don't know shit.
Okay, well, I mean, they coach these guys like they're first-team guys. So he got first-team reps. Again, that would be the only thing. But, dude, if you don't know what the Eagles are going to do to you by now being a divisional foe, I mean, that's a crazy comment that they know there's nothing Philly's going to throw at them in this ball game they haven't seen before. You think we see any more? You think we see any kind of screen game, or do you think we see any kind of the fullback played in this ball game on Thursday night? Any fullback stuff or something, a new wrinkle, maybe more to the third down, maybe more to the third receiver, more middle field stuff? Anything different you think we see in this offense?
I mean, I think Patullo tries to put his mark on it. I don't know what that's going to look like yet. I think it's going to be similar around what they do. I mean, you still have Saquon, you still got the offensive line, you still have Jalen who has his skill set. I have a weird feeling, though, that I do think they're going to pass the ball more effectively, or not more effectively, because they were pretty effective last year. I think they're going to pass it more frequently this year. And I don't think for any other reason other than that they're better at it. I think they're going to be better at it this year, and they're going to go to it more because they can. And I think it's going to keep teams on their heels more, and that's going to open things up for Saquon Barkley even more. So I don't know why I feel that way. That's just how I feel. I think they're going to come into the game. I don't think they're going to become 4,500 passing. I'm not saying that. I think they throw the ball, though, 20% more than they threw it last year.
Why?
Well, if they don't have to, then they don't have to. But I think every year, Sills. Well, let me ask you this. This is a better question. So you think if they don't do that, then they're in just as good a position to go back and win?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you think that and it doesn't require a different version,
I don't think they need to be anything different than what I don't see anybody on your schedule that's going to threaten you in the run game. There's no team on your schedule. Now, look, here's my problem with upping the passing numbers. Dude, you up the passing numbers, what you're doing is you're upping the chances of turnovers, 3 and outs, bullshit like that, missed catches, overthrows. That keeps other teams in it. When you're a running team, you know what, Xander, I'm expecting 38 rushing attempts on Thursday. You get 38 rushing attempts, you get about 25 passing attempts, you're gonna fucking blast them. It's really gonna be.
Well, if you think we can beat their brakes off and not ever have to throw it, well, shit, maybe that's the approach. But
bro, I think you could throw the ball 10 times in this game on Thursday and kick the shit out.
Well, I think week 1's different than the season. I think you asked me what the season you thought, what I thought.
Yeah,
and I think that changes a little bit because I don't know. I mean, I don't think, and again, maybe I'm wrong, and I'll say it if I am, but I don't think the Eagles can do the exact same thing they did last year and march their way to a Super Bowl. Now, I think that's going to be a big part of who they are. I'm not saying it's not going to be a big part of who they are, but just like we had a historic defensive performance last year, like we kind of had a historic running performance too. Like I'm not factoring in we make history 2 years in a row in terms of a statistical outputs for defense or running game. I think it shifts a little bit. I think there's a little bit more of a uniqueness to this season. I think this season has its own identity a little bit more. There's a different configuration or iteration, whatever the word Jalen Hurts used for the 2025 Eagles. I think that's what it's going to be. And in my estimation, it's going to be more of Jalen Hurts and him throwing the ball and getting A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith involved, to a 15 to 20% increase than what they were a year ago. That's where I'm at. And again, I might be wrong. They might come out, hand the ball to Saquon Barkley 35 times and say, who gives a shit?
Right.
And they might win and beat everybody up. If they say it, I'll be, the best part about it is I don't care what they do. Just win. That's all I want them to do is just freaking win. And I'll battle with Sills based on the way the variables shift. All right?
Hey,
all I want.
Here he is right here. By the way, we'll read all super chats at the end here. Hit the like button. Here's A.J. Brown on the team not being allowed to go on the field for the Eagles Super Bowl banner ceremony on Thursday because they've been told by their coach that they can't go on the field. We put that to bed a long time ago. We're just ready to go. That's over with. So the team has been told you're not allowed on the field for the banner. Oh, man, I tell you, fucking really. This is really dopey. I mean, dude, these are grown men. You think they know the difference between 2024 and 2025? What do you think? They're 5 years old? Hey, man, go out there, beat them, celebrate, have a good time.
You know what I don't like? I'll tell you what I don't like about it.
Go out there, beat the fuck out of them.
I'll tell you what I don't like about it. I don't like I've always been the type of person that I'd rather you own the situation.
Yeah.
Like, just own it. Like, you won. It's okay. That's a good thing. Say, yeah, we're coming to fucking win again. And anybody that gets in our way, we're going to beat the piss out of them. Like, instead of being like, don't say it. Don't even act like it exists. No, it does exist. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of the thing with the banner night that I talked about in the open of the segment where it was like, just don't lie to me. But, look.
Wait a second.
I'll say this.
Wait.
Devontae Smith spoke recently, though. And he likened, you're going to lose your mind at this, but he compared Sirianni to Saban. And I'm not saying they're the same guy, but I think Sirianni is the quirky version of Saban from a sense of Sirianni has picked his core philosophies. Whether you agree with them or not, he doesn't care. He is drilling those over and over and over and over again, and everything else is bullshit. It's kind of Saban-esque in that regard. Now, maybe it looked different. They acted different. They had different personalities. But I think the players have grown to appreciate that from Nick. And now that, by the way, it's worked, more people are bought into that. And I don't have a problem with that approach from them. Now, I would prefer them to be honest. But again, I don't really care. I just want them to go and win the game. It's just a talking point here on the National Football Show at 4:19, 2 days before we beat the brakes off the Dallas Cowboys.
So here's another one for you. Well, fuck, man, if this is a distraction, you're telling me that this is a distraction that they don't want to have, but a guy reading a book on the sidelines not. Oh, okay. So, hey, I'm confused here. The guy reading the Beatitudes in what was it, War and Peace or something on the sidelines? So wait a minute. The banner falling is a distraction, but a guy reading a book on the sidelines is not. Oh my God! Holy shit!
I think they're going overboard.
If you get distracted by something
they're
like that,
just
you
going
can be
a little
distracted by anything.
They're just going a little overboard on trying to act like it doesn't exist.
That's bad.
Wait, they're dropping the banner. It's like Nick,
what?
Please.
What?
Don't insult my intelligence, Nick. It's like, just come up and say, hey, we're not going out there. We're focused on bigger things this year. I would have loved that. I would have came on here and said, you hear my fucking boy, Nick. Instead, I got to be like, why'd you have to lie to us, dude? But that's their approach. That's how they're going to handle it. And
yeah, very Saban-ish. That was very Saban-ish.
Well, no, because Saban used to just call it out. That's what I mean. Like, he used to have that approach, but just say, it's rat poison. Yeah, we don't listen to you, that bullshit. Like, that's it. Yeah. He addressed it. He owned his stance.
Yeah, he would go like this. That banner falling's rat poison.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would have been loving that if he did that. Oh my, I would have been I would have been beating Sills up today. Are you kidding me? So I don't know. That's just kind of, I think that's the differences though between Nick and Sirianni and Saban, right? They're a little bit different.
One guy's going to look you in the face and go like this. Well, you're bullshit. That's not what this
right.
is. And the other guy's going to go, what the fuck? Really? It was banner night in Philly? No way. It's banner night? I never knew any. They've been talking about it in Philly for like months. Are you crazy? He's like, I've never heard anything about. What do you mean banner night? I'm like, oh my, holy shit! How about them telling Vic to shut the fuck up?
Yeah, they definitely told him that. Even John agreed with you on that.
Dude, hey Vic,
Did you see that? Wait, did you see? Have you ever seen that stream, dude? I Show Speed. Have you ever seen him? Yeah, you've probably seen him on your timeline, dude. He is. This kid's apparently he's at the NovaCare. He's doing like this world tour where he streams for like 35 days straight. Can I just say about this kid? I have never seen a kid more entertaining than this guy. He is the most entertaining guy I've ever seen. He's just every setting he's in, I'm just like, bro, he does the funniest stuff. And I got a kick out of it. And apparently he's at Philly. He's in Philly today for his world tour. And I saw him at Pat's Steaks earlier today. And then apparently he's at the NovaCare. I don't know. I've been on the show. Is he at NovaCare?
What's his name?
I Show Speed or something. You've definitely seen him. Oh, look, here he is on the oh my goodness. Dude, all the South Philly kids are all the bunch of kids are lined up outside NovaCare to see this kid. I'm telling you, this kid is a star, dude. He's massive.
I Show Speed. I got a guy here on my
yeah. If you type in I Show Speed, he's that. That's him.
He's somebody big,
dude. Huge, bigger than you're thinking. He's got like 50 million plus followers. He's huge.
All right,
he's funny, man. He is. I get a kick out of that dude, man. These new age streamers are classic.
Okay. All right. I will definitely, because I got a DM from somebody from this. I think does he have a producer?
No, I don't think he would be DMing you. He's not that type of dude.
Okay,
he's not in sports at all.
Probably not him then.
Well, I guess he is. He walks around. I don't know. He's been to China. He does all this shit.
I was
looking at this kid's page the other day. I'm like, man, this dude is going on.
What does he do? He goes all over like all the facilities.
Oh, no. This is the first NFL facility I think he's been out. He asked Howie Roseman what he did. I think it's just like he does like this world tour. I don't know, man. He's interesting. He's in every realm possible.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out then. I definitely will because I love entertaining.
Oh, he's entertaining. He's a youngster though. He's not for your. At least I don't think he's for your generation. He's definitely.
Dude, I like entertaining. I don't give a shit how old it is. I'm like, you're good. You're good. I don't really. I'm looking for all those kind of guys.
But look at Brian Pumper. Why would Speed be at NovaCare 2 days from the big game? This franchise is out of control.
Yeah, because they would tell him he's not allowed in, tell him to be quiet, and like, hey, don't forget it's banner night. Fucking banner night. God, your guy is such a bullshit artist, dude. I'm not comparing that guy to Nick Saban. Are you crazy? He's Nick Saban-ish. Yeah, that's not what I saw. What are you back about? Are you kidding me? SEC night? We don't know anything about SEC night. Yeah. Hey, so wait, what are you making him? They told Vic to shut the fuck up. I mean,
Vic listened.
That's not exactly what I want when we're not talking about this. We're not talking about Eric Allen and Deion Sanders.
Nah, different take on this. I got a different take. I think selfishly, as a talk show host, you want them to say shit. Whether they say shit or not has less than zero impact on their success. The two greatest coaches, arguably, and the NFL greatest coach of all time, and Bill Belichick, and my estimation, the greatest college football coach of all time, and Nick Saban, are two guys who gave nothing. So Vic has been honest, and it's been cool, and it's always fun to listen to his press conferences, but it doesn't change shit. I mean, come on, it doesn't change anything.
No, it doesn't. Not for banner night. I don't know about banner night.
Well, that's who his head coach is. How can you expect Vic to not change?
Banner night. Hey, let's get to some super chats here, my friend. Banner night? What do you mean banner night?
Nick Sabiani. Nick Sabiani.
Nick Sabiani. By the way, Brad Sham's going to join us soon.
Oh, good. Ask him why that franchise sucks so bad.
He does own 3 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, one. Have they turned to dust yet?
No, they're in a museum, I think.
Yeah, they're like
right? They're in a museum. They should be in the Smithsonian right now.
All right, you ready to get to some supers?
Yeah, let's get to some supers.
Brian Pump says, sorry, fellas. Our Eagles look unfocused this year. We got dudes creating new podcasts, new serials, and now we're inviting streamers to the NovaCare complex. SMH, right? Did you see Cooper DeJean released a cereal yesterday?
No, what?
Coop's Crunch.
I love that kid. Holy shit, do I
Dude, Cooper DeJean is the only guy on this team that can do no wrong in Sileo.
Nothing.
This guy could be reading a book on the side. He could do anything, and Sileo is going to be like, I love Cooper DeJean.
I love this guy, man. Oh, yeah, this guy can't do shit wrong except get beaten games.
Cooper Crunch, dude.
Cooper Crunch.
I think that's the
crunching
name,
it over at Wildwood, too.
Wait, is it Coop's Crunch or was I wrong? I thought it was Coop's Crunch. Let me go look up this dude.
Coop's Crunch. That's freaking.
Yeah, Coop's Crunch. Wait.
Let me see the cover. I want to see the cereal box. I might even buy some.
You'll love the cover. You will love the cover.
Look at Pump saying we're all y'all losing.
Oh,
you're not losing.
Oh wait, let me get it on blurry. This dude's eating cereal. Oh, there he is.
Coop, there it is. I see it now. There it is. Cooped. Yeah.
I was getting over the cereal box.
Come on,
Coop. Come on, Coop.
Coop's Crunch. I'm going to get me some of it. $13 a box.
13 a box? Is that what it is? Oh, come on. That's highway robbery.
Forget
Ain't nobody eating that, Coop.
I'm hanging on to my Cheerios. Forget it.
I'm not a cereal guy.
$13 a box. No, thank you, man. Coop's Crunch? No.
Obviously, Senor bought Coop's Crunch.
Let's see here.
All right, here we go. Big Flex says, Big Ten is on the CBS, you fat doofus. Hold that L.
Fox has the Big Ten.
I thought CBS had it too.
No.
Don't they both share it?
A little bit, but Fox is the primary network for the Big Ten.
Let's look it up on the fly here.
Yep.
Who is the primary?
Joe Klatt does all Big Ten games. He doesn't do any other games.
Fox is the Big Ten's primary broadcasting partner, holding first selection rights for football games, though CBS and NBC also broadcast Big Ten football games, with games airing on the Big Ten Network and streaming on Peacock. So, a little bit of you both are right.
Well, the primary is Fox.
Thank
you. Yep.
Emre says, it's better than that horse food cereal, Sileos.
I don't eat cereal, douchebag.
Oh, man. Duggan, I think you got this, but I'll say it. Sirianni doesn't want to see the banner drop. It's about him, not the team, just the control of his emotions. You don't want to cry again. That might be true.
The banner's dropping? I can't believe the banner. What's the banner night?
two boxes for $24.99. Yo, Coop, what out, dog?
Not happening, dude.
Who makes this cereal? Is it like a Kellogg's brand or something? Like, who makes this thing? Let me look this thing up. Coop's
Big Dom. Big Dom makes it.
Oh, my gosh. It's coopscrunchcereal.com. Oh, wait. It's for a good cause, I think. All right. Yeah. That's better. That's better. It's for the Iowa University of Iowa Family Children's Hospital. Okay, I can respect
that's
that.
right.
That's a little different. You guys should have told me that it was $13 for a charity.
Yeah, me too. I didn't know that. Dude, that hospital, have you seen that hospital? It's right outside the stadium that they have there. And
wait, I want the cereal bowl. Look at this thing, dude. Are you kidding me? I know you want it too, Sileo. You want the Cooper DeJean cereal bowl. I might have to buy a couple and give them away.
I do.
I might have to buy a couple and give them away.
I do. I love it.
Dude, look at the cereal. Look at the bowl. That's the bowl on the left.
Holy shit, the bowl comes with it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's $8.99.
Oh, my God.
Load that to the cart, folks.
I'm going to add that to the cart.
12-pack, 120 beans.
Xander, you should give some of those away.
Yeah, we should. Let's order it. Add it to the cart, folks.
Yeah, you should give some of those away.
You got to love it. Let's see what we got. I got $128 on effing cereal. Can I spend that money right now?
Yeah.
If you told me when I woke up today you're going to spend $128 on cereal, I'd have slapped you upside the head.
Holy cow.
Oh,
That's a
man.
great cause, though, dude.
Wait, I don't know. Is it full? Is all the proceeds go to that? I'm not really sure. I'll look it up after.
Yeah. No, that's good stuff, man. Where the hell is Brad? Let me see where Brad is here, man.
Dude,
Hopefully
he's fine. He just texted me back a little bit ago. He'll be on, bro.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, gotcha.
He texted me back at 4:01. He'll be good.
Good. Okay. I know they're traveling in now.
Keith, everything I purchase gets itemized. Basically, everything I purchase gets itemized, my friend.
Even Big Sales.
Big Sales is my biggest itemizer. Are you kidding me? This dude is a multi-billionaire after this, dude. Brian Pump says the cereal better come with a W on Thursday, or Brian Pumper will cook these dudes.
Hey, Pump, I tell you, I don't see a close game, but I wouldn't be shocked if it's a close half.
All right, so Flexen's taking a shot back at you. $10 super chat. Thank you, Flex.
Thank you,
he
Flex.
says, Sills said no games.
I never said that.
He got to hold that L like a cannoli.
Never said that. He's a fucking liar. He's trying to make himself seem fucking right. I said CBS or Fox has the Big Ten games, and the SEC is ESPN. You can make it anything you want, Flex, and you're fucking lying. Thank you for the super. Next.
SmackDown, we going 10 boxes on JAKIB. I'm going 10 boxes, 10 bowls. And we're giving away on JAKIB Sports. I'm ordering them after I get off the show. You think I'm kidding? I'm doing it. We'll order 10 boxes and 10 bowls.
I like the bowls, dude. I mean, I like the whole deal.
Let me put in 10 bowls and see what this is going to run me. 10 boxes and 10 bowls. I'm looking at 210 beaners.
Jesus criminy. He's going back for the Bulls.
There you go, folks. Is it a JAKIB purchase or is it not, folks? What do y'all think? Let me know.
Yeah. That's good shit, man.
Well, I think we got one more super. Nick says, what's Banner Night? Sirianni voiced by Sills.
What's a bit? Is it really Banner Night? No, it can't be. I never fucking heard of that. There's no such thing. You're not allowed to go out. Hey, what do you make of that, though? You're not allowed to go out and see the banner. You're not allowed to talk repeat. You're not allowed to wear gear. You're not allowed to wear your ring. Jesus criminy, man. These guys are grown men. I mean, you don't know the difference? I mean, it's really dorky. I mean, how is that not dumb? We're not talking about 18-year-old kids. We're talking about 30-year-old, 25-year-old men. Hey, you're not allowed to use the word repeat. You're not allowed to wear a hat. You're not allowed to go out see the banner fall. You're not allowed to do any of that. Sit in your
rat poison
until you come out.
Rat poison. Sileo.
Yeah. No. That's not what was said. Here's what was said. Thursday. Are we even playing a game?
Yo, look at this dude. Ask J-Mac. He's eating Micah Charms as we speak.
No, he's eating Van Sumeren Charms.
Micah Charms is hilarious, dude.
He's eating Micah Charms.
So funny.
I freaking love it, man. Micah Charms.
Oh, goodness gracious.
You got to love Jerry, though, don't you, dude? Sending his Cowboys into, getting slaughtered after you get rid of your top Cowboy. I mean, dude, I think you have to. Oh, I heard this today. Somebody told me Armando Salguero said that he was around the Cowboy locker room. Everybody's talking in low voices right now. Nobody's really happy. They're trying to make the best of it. You know, Dak is walking around the locker room going, hey, at least we got something settled. You know, you're trying to overcome it, you know. But man, you put such a giant speed bump in the way of your football team prior to going in. You had no chance anyway. Now you give yourself a lesser of a chance.
Francis says, don't you think he ran this by his team leaders? Well, Francis, if you missed the beginning of our segment, I think we talked about that wasn't the problem not to. Well, I don't think it was the problem. I think the way he acted like he didn't know it was banned. Francis, do you like being you're a grown man? I assume, Francis. Don't you just say, Francis, don't you think it would have been better if he just came out and said, we're not falling for that distraction. My team will be in the locker room, and when we come out onto the field, we'll be ready to play a ball game on Thursday night.
I have a good comparison. Are you ready? I have a show on Monday. What? I mean, I have a show on Monday. I have a show on Monday. Okay. This guy.
So, how do you feel that you're batting like 100?
Oh, I'm batting a trillion right now, and knowing that guy's a bullshit artist.
How does it feel that you're covering the best team in the NFL?
Oh, a lot. I heard you talk. Actually, I must have caught some of that interview.
Yeah, you did.
That guy, he said something.
You were going in and out in the Big Sil studios at home.
And he goes like, it's interesting covering them, but I like covering winners. And it's dope being able to cover somebody who can kick some dust up, make some stupid shit, and then go out and beat a team 38-10. I think there's coolness to that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, the Cowboys make a lot of noise and get mowed over. The Eagles make a lot of noise and they mow people over. You know, I compare Jerry Jones to this. You may be too young for this, Ander, but I compare him to like George Steinbrenner.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit before.
He's like George Steinbrenner. But the difference is that the boss demanded winning all the time. He fired everybody. He couldn't take losing. He thinks losers are for like whatever. Jerry is just like, it's almost like he's accepted it now. You know?
Yeah.
It's just almost like he's totally accepted it.
No, there's no doubt. We'll see we'll see. I think Thursday night's going to be a bloodbath for the Cowboys.
I do too. I do too. All right, we get them all?
I think we got them all, brother.
All right. I'm going to take a time out before we get our guy on here.
Yeah, I don't know where. I'll text him again. I'll call him.
All right. We'll see where he is here, and we'll see if we can get him up here, bud.
Remember, it is 4:30 there. I'm wondering if he thought 4:30 Central.
That's what I'm thinking, too, because Dallas is Central Time.
Yeah, so it's 3:30 down there.
Yeah, I'm thinking now he's probably going to be doing 5:30.
Okay.
Because when he said, because I asked him Eastern Time, I get the text, too.
Yeah, he might have missed it.
So he's probably thinking that it's going to be 5:30. So we'll get him on here. Brad is like he's the Merrill Reese for the Cowboys. He's been calling Cowboy games for over 30 years. Dude, tomorrow's going to be the eve of the game.
I know. I'm pumped. I'm
so
just ready.
What time's our pregame?
6:30, probably.
6:30?
Probably.
6:30. Wow. We're pregame already. Holy cow. Boss. This is going to be a big September.
Flexen says, bring me on so I can roast Sills like a chicken.
Hey, Flexen, sit back in your corner there with your dunce hat on. Okay? With the aluminum foil.
Oh!
Just go put your aluminum foil hat on, ding dong.
Oh!
Go get ahead of yourself here, kid. Always remember, Big Sills knows more than you. And will always. Go sit in your corner here. Hey, by the way.
Flex.
Hey, Flexen, you better pray to the gods of Nick Sirianni that you guys win the Super Bowl this year.
Where's my boy Easy for Sheezy? Is he in here?
Hey, let me ask you this, man.
Uh-oh.
All right. What's the minimum you'll take this year for this team for a successful season?
I think they're going to the NFC title game.
Okay.
I think that would be good. I mean, I think if they fell short
3 NFC title games in 4 years? Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be clear, if they don't make it there, I think it will be largely viewed as a little bit of a letdown from what the expectation was. But if they get there and they lose, I think you can live with, look, I mean, the reality of it is, I know we all want to win.
You're not going to win every year.
Yeah, you're not going to win every year. So, like, what is the realistic way to look at a season when you don't raise the banner? Is it you as a fan can probably be upset? Yeah, I understand that. But you can't just write off and say a season was unsuccessful because of that. So, if they end up in the NFC title game, I'm feeling pretty good about that. But I do think they're going to go further. I think they're going to make the Super Bowl this year. I think the biggest hurdle is going to come in the Super Bowl this year.
I think it's going to depend on who the matchups are in the playoffs. I think if you get Green Bay in a divisional round or you get Detroit or Tampa in a divisional
Look at
round.
this fucking cheese ball. They're effing repeating. I had the balls to say, yo, dickhead, you want me to pull out my thing from March that says I got him repeating? You and every other Eagle fan on planet Earth has him repeating. That doesn't give you balls, Kenzo. What a dumbass thing to say. Literally go on Twitter. Every fan in the world has Eagles are going to repeat. That's what fans say. I have balls. You don't have shit, Kenzo. Shut your little pile, dork.
Hey, man, oh, man. This is
Stupid-ass
going
comment, Kenzo.
Hey, that's exactly.
Dude,
That's
got a
what
lot
I'm
of dumb
talking.
comments on this channel. A lot of dumb
cow.
comments.
I know. You're still hanging at 14 wins?
I had 13.
13 wins.
Yeah, I had 13 wins for the team.
So we're 48 hours now. Let me give you my final. No more changing.
Yeah, have you picked your NFC?
No.
Have you picked your Super Bowl teams yet?
No.
What are you waiting on? September 2nd, hot shot.
Tomorrow's the eve, Junior Polls.
This dude is waiting and waiting and waiting.
Hey.
How much more insight
Junior,
do you need?
Tomorrow's the eve of the season. I got you going here.
You making some predictions tomorrow?
Put your trust in Big Sills and how we do this. I got you covered here. Tomorrow's the eve of the season. You can't go back on anything. This is it. It's cemented. You pour the cement here. That's why I'm asking you. So you got 13 wins still with that cheeseball defense and your co-starters. Your 4 co-starters.
Cheeseball defense.
Cheeseball defense. Wait a minute. Put this in your fucking book. Hey, it's either going to be your type or it's going to be a cheeseball defense.
You called it the Lindbergh cheese defense all the way through the Super Bowl last year. They were the best. They were a historic unit.
Okay, well, this won't be.
Says who?
It says Big Sills.
Okay, and you said that last year. So why should I listen to your ass?
Okay, because get this, guys. So for 3 of the 4 years, I'm nails on. Last year,
what a fake narrative.
How's that fake? I was wrong in 21 where I said
you shot like 50% from the field.
22, I told you were going to go to the. I picked you to go to the Super Bowl.
Your first take was one of your words.
I picked you to go to the Super Bowl in 22. No one else
that you did. That you did.
23, I said you were going to fall apart like you did. Okay, you're right. Last year. All right. How's that? When you and Seth Joyner were going, they're 10-1, douchebag. I went, you're a phony team.
I haven't.
Okay. Well, so either this is going to be this here. We're going to find out. And like Jalen says, or the second best player on the offense, or the third best player. Wait, third best or fourth best? Who was the number 1 guy voted by?
We got an extension done. Oh, no. Never mind.
I know it ain't Reed's.
No, I thought it was because I saw this graphic on my Twitter, but this is bad for the Eagles. He just signed with Athletes First.
That means it's David Magula.
Yep. So he ain't giving him a deal. I don't think he's taking a deal this year.
Nope. That's a guy to get shopped in the open market.
No, Mulligetter's going to say to him, you want to make 10 mil or you want to go to the open market and make 20 next year? You tell me.
You know what his agent probably did? His agent said, you should take this fucking deal here, this under market deal.
Yeah.
And this is what Reed went like this. No, we're not doing that.
Who's Cooper DeJean's agent? Because Cooper and Reed are pretty tight.
You don't think he has that guy too, do you? Wow, if he's got David Magula. No way. He's got to have clutch.
I don't know who Cooper has.
All right.
I'm looking it up. It's not showing up.
It could be a smaller. Is it Rosenhaus?
No. Where the fuck is Cooper DeJean agent?
I got to find that out. Yes.
It says booking agent. I don't want a booking agent for a publicist.
No. Let me look at NFLPA here.
I got it here.
Okay.
Kyle McCarthy from Athletes First.
That's Magula. Yep. So he's going to be you're not re-signing that guy for anything south of 30. I'm talking Cooper DeJean. And now Reed Blankenship is going to demand Derwin James money. Eagles are not paying that. You're not paying him $15 million.
No, you're not.
They are not.
You're not.
If Davis plays great, Davis is going to get a 3-year contract extension at 20. And you're going to spend $65 million in your tackles alone. Okay?
I mean, don't you think it's a little funny, guys, that Reed's like up for an extension and he changes his agent today?
Totally what I said. His contract's in March.
Yeah, but he's eligible now.
Yeah. That's why the goalposts have been moved, not by you, Xander, but by everybody that I kept asking.
I don't think that's a good thing. I saw some dude commented to me. He said extension coming soon. I don't see this that way. Yeah, I don't see this that way.
Now, if he gets out of the gate and plays great for 6 weeks, that may change it for them. But do you really think that they're going to give a safety?
Dude, how are they going to pay? If he plays great for the first 6 weeks, how much you giving him?
They're going to demand 15
minimum.
Are
you paying Reed that when you got to pay Jalen Carter 40?
No way. Not when I drafted 2 safeties. Also, I drafted 2 safeties, 2nd and 3rd round.
Eagles got to tread lightly because him and Cooper DeJean, they're like a little bit. It's like almost a little weird. They do everything together. They were on the T-shirt together. They're like the exciting whites together. They're like on a podcast together. Now they're making cereals together. Like it's like a fucking
let me
weird.
ask you this: say your edge rushers play up to Josh Sweat, and what was Josh's last year? He made $18 million, right? Something like that. 18, 19 million he made in Philly, right? He made a lot of money. Remember, he signed that one deal. And he was on a 1-year deal, right? Was it like 15 or 16, something like that? So you're going to have those 2 edge. Nolan Smith is up at the end of this year. You know that, right?
No, he's not up.
He's up for an extension.
Well, you can, but you have.
Well, doesn't he usually
this year? You have 3 more years of Nolan Smith.
Okay, wait, but he's eligible to get money.
He's eligible. He's not going to get it right away.
Okay.
Jordan Davis didn't get it right away. Why would Nolan Smith?
Boy, I'll tell you what. I'd rather pay Nolan Smith if Nolan Smith looks like he has stepped in for Josh Sweat versus giving a guy where I can replace in a set. Dude, you can replace Reed Blankenship. What if that secondary has troubles in that Cowboy game? You pay him $15 million.
Big Marsh says Magula has turned, Mulugeta or whatever his name is, has turned into a team killer. He's not good for the NFL or for nobody.
Tell you what, there'll be tough negotiating going back and forth between any Cowboy players or the Cowboys drafting any guys from that dude. Now, to his, David Magula was right in the fact that Jerry was trying to screw the kid over $30 million. I mean, Xander, there was an initial offer of 40. He signed for 47. Over 4 years, that's $28 million.
I don't know. Wasn't he? He was on like First Take today. I think the agent spewing a bunch of shit. So I don't know who to believe. I mean, honestly, I don't really care. Honestly, I really don't. But I care about how it impacts the Eagles.
Well, I care how he's going to negotiate with Howie. Because doesn't that affect the negotiating how he'll do with Howie?
Yeah, definitely. And for Cooper DeJean, too. Bye-bye, Reed. That safety money is Coops, in my opinion. I agree.
Man. So how do you read that we changed agents? I'll tell you how I read it.
It means he wants to maximize the next contract he signs. That's what that means. What else does it mean? What else could it mean?
That the Eagles undercut him and lowballed him like they did Josh Sweat.
Yep. And he got a second opinion probably, and then he went with the new agent.
His agent probably told him you should sign this deal, and he said,
"Oh, I mean, it doesn't take a contract specialist to look at the average annual value of safeties in the NFL and say $10 million is an underpay." So,
I bet you they came in lower. I bet you they came in like 9, 8.
That's where John said he thought they were going to come in.
Right, and he wants to be in the 12 to 15.
Right. I think higher than that. I think he wants to be higher than that. Have you looked at the safety list recently? Look, let's pull it up together. Let's pull it up together. Give me a sec. I'll pull it up right here. I got to close out of my Coops Crunch tag.
This guy spent $300 on cereal and bowls.
I didn't do it. If I got like 10 members, I would do it, but I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that. That's dumb.
$200 on cereal and bowls.
Legitimate cereal. All right, here we go. This is Cooper DeJean. Go NFL. What do we want to look at here? Safeties, contracts. Should be able to go by position.
Yeah.
Position. Safety. I should be able to log in. I thought I had an account on this thing. Average value. Look at these, dude. The 10th highest paid safety in the league is making $14.5 or $18 million. Well, no, let's go average value. So the 10th highest paid is Javon Holland making $15.1 a year.
Yeah, but he's not that good.
Dude, Kyle Duggar, Cam Bynum.
Now the kid Duggar, okay, the guy from New England. Okay, yes.
Jalen Petre, $13 million. Hufanga for 13. Josh Metellus for 12. Grant Delpit for 12. Dude, he's in this range.
He's there in that 12.
Jimmy Ward's making 10.5. Julian Love's making $11 million.
Wait a minute. Wait. He's not better than Chauncey Gardner.
Yeah, well, Chauncey's making 9. He got. That's because nobody wants to pay Chauncey.
That shows me right there that fucking Howie made that thing look even dumber. Look at the markets for guys that are playing safety. You had a $9 million guy who was your best safety a year ago, and you want to pay your lesser guy more? How to make that make sense to me? He's not better than Gardner Johnson. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how do you make that make sense to me, Xander?
Let's look at the biggest contracts here.
It's Kyle Hamilton. He's $25 million.
Oh, I know that, yeah. Kirby Joseph got 86. Wow. Kirby Joseph got 50, just signed one of the biggest contracts in football and safeties, and then got beat by $14 million.
So you think you're gonna wait? Reed Blankenship wants $30 million in guarantees.
I don't know what he wants. Where'd you hear that?
Well, I'm looking at the numbers here for these guys that are making 14 and 15.
Yeah, what do you think? I mean, he's going to want a lot of money,
17 million. He's not that play.
Well, you know what else? They just made him a captain. Do you think that improved his value? I mean, he's a captain on the Eagles defense. I think that improves his value. It shows you that he's an integral part of that defense.
Depends on how well they play this year.
Well, I know, but I'm saying even
captain being a part on the 28th ranked pass defense is not going to be good.
Yeah, but even being a part of last year's defense, that lure and that pedigree after losing key players will help his stuff.
Okay, if you're the Eagles, though, aren't you saying this? Well, let's see how he plays without Gardner Johnson.
Well, definitely, but you're also
because the 2 years he was there, Gardner Johnson was the Super Bowl guy, and the 1 year he wasn't. The guy they were ranked 28th in pass defense.
Big Marsh says, hell no, I love Reed, but he's just not worth that money. We must say goodbye. I don't know, man. You got to be careful, Marsh. Look, I hear you, and I honestly, I'm more in your boat, Big Marsh, than not. But you got to be careful about taking at that many. Now you're taking another guy in the secondary off. Like, dude, you're relying on kind of recreating the magic with 3 out of 5 new players in the back. That's tough to do, man. That's tough to do. You got to tread lightly there because they've already lost a lot of guys on defense.
Okay, well then how about if they did this? How about if they just decided, all right, well, we're going to put Coop in that spot, Reed spot, and put him at safety.
And then what?
You replace Reed with safety. You replace Reed with Cooper, and you drafted a second and third rounder for the strike.
But again, what? Now you need 2 corners.
You need a slot. He's not a corner. You
still need a corner.
You need a corner. You need a corner now.
I mean, Adoree Jackson ain't doing it.
I got it. But what I'm saying is if Reed leaves, I'm gonna put Cooper in that spot.
I know, but I think there's a slot. I think there's like a pendulum or like a seesaw effect of like if you can balance it, but like if you go a little far, that thing's gonna tip the other way, man.
Like they did this year. They went a little too far, don't you think?
Well, we don't know that yet. They haven't played a game.
Okay.
Look at this dude.
Wait,
Look at
I
this
know this. They
dude.
got co-starters everywhere.
They haven't played a game.
And I know we still haven't figured out who's playing. We got guys battling for jobs. They're
I
on
appreciate this optimism.
non-banner night.
From
That's
my
what I'm
boy
going to call
Zeal.
it.
He says Adoree Jackson's locking it down Thursday.
Hey, I'm going to call it non-banner night.
Yeah, it's like what a fake news narrative from there.
I know, non-banner night. What are you talking about? No banner fucking dropping on you.
We're not gonna. We got to be careful. I mean, I know everybody's like loves our offense and everything, but I know people have
money wise, don't they?
People have struggled with this conversation in the past, but
yeah.
I think all Eagles fans would be smart to start to think a little bit more about this. You know, I know everybody's like, "Oh, get rid of Reed." That's a lot of dudes you're getting rid of on the defense. Now, let me give you a crazy stat, Sills. You ready?
Yeah.
The most expensive NFL offenses. Ready? Number 5 is Detroit, $188 million. Number 4 is Minnesota, $189 million. Number 3 is Cincinnati, $192 million. At the bottom, I'll give you the top 2 in a second. At the bottom of the list, Seattle's is $96 million, New Orleans is $116 million, and New York Jets are $122 million. All the way at the top of the list, number 2 is San Francisco at $202 million, a $10 million increase over Cincinnati. And at 1 is the Philadelphia Eagles at $247 million, $45 million more than the second highest placed team. Now, ready? I'm not done. The NFL's most expensive defenses. Number 1 is Houston, $179 million. Number 2 is Pittsburgh, $173 million. Number 3 is Jacksonville, $162 million. Another reason they're not going to pay Trayvon Walker. Thank you very much. Number 4 is Chicago, $158 million. Number 5 is Denver, $155 million. And then all the way down at the bottom, number 30 is the LA Chargers at $101 million, and a massive jump down to 31 at $68 million is your Philadelphia Eagles, and the LA Rams are the last team in the league in terms of defensive spending with $53 million. So you're coming in at 31 on defensive spending with $68 million, and offensive spending, you're coming in at number 1 with $247 million. Now, a lot of this is circumstantial. A lot of this is circumstantial because there are all the defenses on rookie contracts. But again, project into the future. Do you want to let every guy that comes up for a contract on defense go? Or do you want to move on from an offensive player? I don't know.
Wait. This is what I've been telling you the last 3 years. They don't.
No, I agree. Slugger says the right thing.
They don't let guys get to their second contract.
But it is a function of youth because all of our best defenders are on rookie contracts. It's not like in our best defender, Bond, who's paid. So you're right, Slager. It is more of a function of youth, but I'm projecting ahead. Like people say, don't pay Reed because we got other people to pay. Should we think about maybe messing up the offense a little bit? I know people don't like that conversation.
Well, that's AJ.
I hate to say it, but probably right.
Okay, but now get this: when you say it's a function,
you can't get rid of AJ, though, dude.
I'm just saying it's one of those guys. You're not getting rid of Devontae. It's too team friendly. Okay, you're not. And the bell cow on your team outside your quarterback is your running back. Either that or you got to go with one of your old linemen. Pick one. Landon, Mulata, Lane. Now Lane is going to retire soon, so you're going to get some relief there when he retires in a couple of years. But
well, I mean, look, Dalton says we're not getting rid of AJ. Dalton, I agree, we're not getting rid of AJ. But Dalton, be logical about it, Dalton, as best you can. I just gave you the numbers on how much they're paying on offense and how much they're paying on defense. With all the guys coming on defense, is your preference then to just let them walk every year and keep draft? Maybe that's honestly, that might be the Eagles' perspective too. They might pay Jalen Carter and everybody else starts rotating.
That's right.
That could be possible. But you have to think about it from a real sense. You can't just say we're not getting rid of AJ and nobody's got to go. You can't pay Jalen Carter $40 million. You can't pay Nolan Smith. You can't pay Zach Bond. Can't pay Cooper and Quinion. Like things are going to shift. How are they going to shift? I don't know yet.
I'm going to show you something else. Do you know what the ramifications are of Keely Ringo not panning out? You know what the financial
Well,
ramifications?
not really, because he would be due for an extension after.
No. You know what the ramifications are?
What?
Are you going to now go pay for a corner? Or are you going to try drafting another corner?
Probably try drafting.
Okay. Well, then you're going to get cheaper again, and there's going to be more. That's the number 2 position on the field, Xander. When it comes to misses next to quarterback is cornerback play. Howie doesn't have a great track record outside of the Gene and outside of Q. That organization doesn't That's a hard, and it's across the league. 68% failure rate is at that corner position coming out of the draft.
No, you're right. I mean, they've done pretty well. The last 2 corners they drafted were very
successful.
At the top of the rounds, not in the late rounds.
Okay.
Mikey brings up a good point. Mikey, and I will say this, while I do bring that up and I question or wonder how it's going to change, I'm not going to sit here and play accountant. Howie's proven he's better at it than anybody, so he'll figure it out. But Shred says Lane retires in 2 years. Goddard isn't here next year. They'll restructure Hurts' contract. How much will that save? That probably save you $40-50 million right there. Plus probably an increase in the cap, another $50 million.
But that money's going to Jalen Carter. That Goddard money is going to be going to Carter. No.
Well, remember, the cap's going to increase
18% it goes up. Every year, 12 to 18%.
Yeah, so it's going to go up almost $50 million in the next 2 years.
Okay. Well, so are your salaries. See, what's happening, Xander, the salaries are outperforming the cap increase. Look at what you're paying for edge rushers now.
Yeah.
Do you realize how much money do you think you're going to be paying for edge rushers in 2 years? Right now, you're paying $47 million.
I'm not yet sold that they're going to pay Nolan.
Okay. You're not paying him 47, but you're going to pay him 30.
Anything over 25, I'm not in the room. He's not reliable enough. If you're gonna shift your philosophy to pay the defense, you can't. You got to have reliable guys. Now, maybe if Nolan has a great year, guess what? They're going to pay. I'm going to be wrong. They're going to pay.
You mean available?
I don't think Nolan's there just yet. Not in my eyes.
So would you rather pay Nolan or Reed?
Honestly, based on the way you've broken down the edge rushers, like
Reed makes more economical sense, doesn't he?
He makes more economical sense, and does he make a more football sense? Think about it.
Yeah.
Reed's the anchor of the entire secondary from a quarterback, from a vocal standpoint, from all their different things, a glue in a sense, versus we just got done talking about how the Eagles have different expectations for their edge rushers, technically expectations that are easier to reach.
What's the name of that defense? Too high safety, Vic Fangio. Okay,
right.
Well, it doesn't say 2 edge rusher safety.
Yeah, it's true.
It says 2 high safety. Okay, the linebacker position he's fixed. I don't think he's fixed the safety position yet. Do you? They've tried it. They've drafted corner. They've drafted safeties. Is Reed getting this agent is wild. It makes me think they gave him an $8.5 million offer and he laughed at it. Then
maybe they did.
On a horse.
Maybe they did. I am with Kevin, though, who says let Howie cook. I do agree. We got a couple more supers. Let's get to them. I got to run because I got shit to do here.
Gotcha,
Rick says A.J. Brown getting traded next year. I don't think so, Slick.
I think there's one more year involved. So I think there's one more year.
In Philly?
Yeah, I think there's one more year.
Yeah, because remember, they're going to pay Carter next summer, but that money's not going to hit the books for a little while.
No. And plus, as long as they don't touch the voided years, they're going to be able to extend that phony money out.
Yeah, but there is some.
He could have 2 more years here.
Like if Lane retires, he might still have some money on the books. But
you mean dead money? Maybe.
Yeah, dead money. Kyle Kakorshi says, Sills, I understand it's the second week of college football, but what positions are looking deep for next year's draft?
Quarterback, edge rusher, wide receiver.
Yeah, wide receiver.
Defensive tackle, O-line.
Wide receiver looks insane. There's a lot of good players coming up right now.
Bro, I'm going to tell you, this is the best draft in 25 years coming up.
Yeah, and the Cowboys have 4 picks in the next 2 years. So,
and Howie's got 12 picks next year.
Howie's a little later, but that's all right.
I got to tell you, you can parlay that up and move up, man.
Here's Maurice. He checks in. Who says that Jalen Carter wants $40 million? He might take a friendly deal like Devontae. So no.
Why would he?
Maurice, I'm not going to get into that because I don't know, one, and two, I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to be mad at a player.
Really, Devontae's the only guy that's taking a team-friendly deal.
Yeah, and if Jalen wants to make his money, man, I can't.
A.J. Brown didn't take a team-friendly deal.
I'm not the type of dude that criticizes players for getting paid.
No.
Big Marshall says, good or bad, I already have in my mind Nolan's not getting paid. That's why I won't purchase his jersey.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not sure if he's getting paid.
I don't believe they're going to give him $15 million. I just don't. You need to ask John that question, okay? Ask him that tomorrow on Birds 365. If you think that, because you don't hire a guy like that if you're happy with your agent. You understand? I mean, you're not happy with the negotiations.
Kimberly says, Carson Beck reminds me exactly of Purdy.
A little bit. I see that, Kimberly. I think I'll tell you what, one thing is definite is that a year ago in Georgia, he didn't have the receivers with all those drops, and he didn't have the offensive line. If he has a team in front of him, he looks like a very functional guy, and I think he could take them along. I think he could take them somewhere in the playoffs. I don't know how far yet.
Sills is Miami squad, man. They might be on their way.
The Final Four.
They could be on their way to getting back to the status you want them to be at. We'll see.
Absolutely. All right, Xander, we got him?
I think we got them all. Oh, wait, we got one more, actually.
Okay.
Ja'Cory going to ball when he gets his shot. Slick Rick, thank you, brother.
All right, we'll see. 48 hours. Bro, we'll catch you in the morning. Ask John that question, what he thinks this agent, moving on from his old agent to this agent now, because this is wild, man. I mean, obviously he wasn't happy with the negotiation. Hey, do we now agree, Xander, what I was saying the entire offseason here?
I'm not conceding on that.
Well, they didn't get the deal done.
I'm not conceding.
Well, I'll tell you what. How about this? When you kicked that ball off, I was right. They didn't give him the deal.
You would be right in that sense, yes.
Wouldn't this be wild? Tomorrow, Magula cuts a deal, and he's got 15 large.
Oh, my God.
And he's got 40 guaranteed.
What if it came down right now? That would be nuts.
Oh, it would be, man. It would be. Hey, he had to go get another agent to do it. All right, Big Z, we'll catch you tomorrow, bro.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Later, everybody. Appreciate it. Oh, wait. Before I go, I got to announce one thing. We made the giveaways today. I forgot to say it on the show. We announced the two catalysts for the giveaways this year, which we're going to do a bunch more, but we always like to have a catalyst. Last year, we had Saquon Barkley, the 125 yards plus every time he hit it, we gave away. So this year, we got Jalen Hurts, 275 plus all-purpose yards, Sileo.
It ain't passing, I'll tell you that.
275 all-purpose would give him, if he did it every game, times 17, that'd be 46.75. That's 400 more yards than Josh Allen had last year. Jalen. All right. And then you have defense, 20 points or less, we give away a jersey. So 20 points or less given up, we give away a jersey. So those are the two catalysts for giveaways. Members only. So if you're a Dusty Gray, you're not involved.
Here's what I say Jalen does Thursday night. 142 yards passing, 38 rushing, 2 touchdowns passing, and 1 rushing. And I think Barkley goes for 165 yards and 2 TDs.
We'll see, Sills.
You don't think Barkley goes for 165?
I think Barkley has a good game. I think Jalen is a better game.
Oh, here. Jalen goes for 372 yards, 272 yards of total offense.
Nobody said that.
Barkley goes for 160. You just said 272.
275 is the giveaway. I didn't say that. I was predicting for week one.
Okay. Just touchdown. Jesus took a knee Sunday.
I'm out of here. See you.
Hey. Yes, he did. How you doing? As predicted. Where's that deal for Reed? Still waiting for it. Hey, M. Reyes. Where's the Reed deal, M. Reyes? M. Reyes. Where's the Reed deal? Now he's firing his agent? What happened? M. Reyes is telling me the guy's getting a contract extension. What happened? No? You've got 48 hours, dude, to make that deal. And if you don't, you turn into a pumpkin. Win number 1 for Big Sills. Right out of the gate, heading into the season. He's not conceding until kickoff. Well, what happened? It is. Now, here's Jalen Hurts' numbers for that game against the Cowboys because you're going to run the shit out of the ball. About 145 passing, 45 rushing, 2 TDs, somewhere in there. That's like, what is that? 190 yards in total offense. Barkley's going to go for north of 165. That's going to kind of be who you are. Oh, by the way, I'm assuming our friend's going to join us. Brad Sham's going to join us at the bottom of the hour here. Seals, this 2026 draft class is stacked, and the quarterback room is filled with some good players. If the Eagles are drafting in the 27 to 32 range, who should we hope to draft and what position should we target first? I haven't looked at exact names, but I can tell you this, that offensive line and all the old lines, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish have a good old line. The Canes have a good old line. Ohio State's got a good looking old line. I think Michigan's got a good one. Texas has got a lot of stars on that team. They didn't play like it in Columbus. But it's more about the programs. LSU's got a shitload of good players, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Georgia's going to have some good players. Tennessee is doing a really, really good job. Penn State's got a ton of players. I mean, they've got a ton of players on that side of the ball. I want Howie to sell out to get AJ's replacement and Jeremiah Smith. Notre Dame, both corners are legit. Yeah. Jeremiah Smith's a great-looking football player. They got Notre Dame. I'm not down on Notre Dame. Notre Dame lost by 3 on the road in South Florida to a team that's going to make the playoffs, Miami Hurricanes. That's not a bad loss. Like the Clemson loss to LSU. LSU's going to go far. They're probably going to go to the SEC title game this year. I don't know who they're going to play. But, yeah, so those weren't terrible losses. The Alabama loss was brutal because they got dominated on both sides of the ball. And that didn't look like an SEC team. The one thing that Saban always had was O-line, D-line. They never looked like they got beat up. And they got beat up by Florida State. That kid, by the way, too, Castellanos, he can play, man. He's a good – I'll tell you the quarterback. I can't think of his name. Somebody give me his name. The kid from South Carolina looks like the real deal. That guy plays like Cam Newton. He could throw the ball. He runs with great force, and he's a giant dude. He's like 6'4". That South Carolina kid can play. The quarterback from Clemson, South Carolina, I don't think Beck's in the top round. I think he's probably in the top 4 rounds. Arch Manning took a step back. That's it, Sellers. You guys are right. That kid can play, man. He is a good-looking talent. Sills, doesn't Miami beating Notre Dame just feel right? Yeah. I thought Notre Dame, again, I thought they didn't play very well in their lines. They got dominated up front. Okay? Sills, yes, it does. Did you guys slam Belichick already? Listen, here's the problem that Bill had last night. I watched that game. And the problem that he had was he had 70 people in the portal, right? Well, when you have free agency in the NFL and you got a bunch of guys coming in, they're professional football players. They know what their responsibilities are. When you've got transfer guys coming in, they're young players. They're 18, 19, 20-year-old guys. They don't know going from one franchise to another. They don't know how to act like pros. They're young kids. When you're on the pro level and you go from the Eagles to the Texans, you act like a pro no matter where you are. The helmet doesn't matter. Now, there's different cultures in the building that you have to adjust to. But you as a player, you don't adjust as a person and as a player. You adjust your habits so it fits in. But when you're a football player, you don't know that. When you're a college kid, you don't know what the culture is at Miami versus Notre Dame. When you're a pro at the NFL, being a pro in the NFL, that's first and foremost what you are. That's your job. When you go to college programs, that's the change. So like when you go from LSU to UNC with Bill's going to run it more like an NFL team. That's what you had. He has good players there. He just doesn't have a good football team. He thought they would play together more. They didn't. And it looked bad. It looked good early. And then when they had a little adversity, it fell apart on them. That comes to coaching, not understanding your roster, not knowing your players. Remember, he did all this in 8-9 months. You're not going to transform a program in 8-9 months. It's easier to do that with a pro football team than a college team with 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old kids. That's not going to work like that. Get 18, 19, 20-year-old kids are liable. You don't know who you're getting on Saturdays. Pros, you know what you're getting because that's your job. You're getting paid enormous money. Now, again, that's changed now because the NIL. But, you can't run your football program like an NFL team. And that's kind of what I saw. Dude, there's a lot of good players. And by the way, you had a lot of great people in the building. You had Lawrence Taylor. You had Michael Jordan, the owner of the Nike brand. You got a lot of resources there. That was a shit show. It was. He'll get it right. He'll figure it out. He'll bring people in that know what to do. He's not stupid. One thing Belichick isn't. He's not going to make the same mistake twice. Okay? He's not. And he's going to have a football decision. So, Sills, it took Jimmy and Saban a few years to get their team. Well, here, I'll give you a great example of that, and you're dead on. The first year Jimmy Johnson got to Miami, he went 8-5. You hear me? Jimmy went 8-5, and he lost 4 of the last 5 games. What happened? Well, after that, he went 10-1, 11-0, 12-0, and he went 11-0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the last 4 years, Jimmy went 44-1. He had to figure it out. Had to get his own coaches in. Had to get his type of players. He went 8-5 his first year. And then the following 4, he went 44-1. And I was there for almost all of it. So it'll take him a little time. All right, let's pay some bills here. And Brad Sham, the legendary voice of the Dallas Cowboys, will join us at the bottom of the hour here. We'll talk with him and get his thoughts on the Micah Parsons trade and all. Brad's got 3 Super Bowl rings himself, and he's been there since the beginning with Jerry Jones. So we'll talk to Brad here. Don't forget Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America, with over $30 billion recovered. Folks, one of the reasons they're #1 is because there are thousands of attorneys coast to coast defend you and your family. I told you this before. John didn't start the #1 injury law firm in America just to go out there and make money. It was a quest, and it was a mission because his brother was permanently paralyzed. And a company took advantage of him and didn't want to do the right thing. It was a crusade he went on with him and his wife, Ultima. They got that right, and they fought for his brother, and now they fight for families across the country. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor, you tell them Big Sales sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
The following is a presentation of JAKIB Sports.
If you're a small business owner or you work for a company that loves the birds, you need to react fast before we've used up our entire ticket allocation. And here's why. In celebration of JAKIB Media's new partnership with Savvy Seats, JAKIB Media will give you a pair of VIP tickets for any game on the 2025 schedule, home or away. And we'll give your company or your boss a 20-week media sponsorship package across the #1 digital network for Eagles coverage, JAKIB Sports. And that includes all of our game day coverage. Cost for your business or company? About $50 a week. Let's recap everything. 20-week sponsorship package on JAKIB Sports, including commercial spots, live reads, and liners. Inclusion in all of our game day coverage, including the soon-to-be-announced Green Zone, and a pair of tickets to the home opener or any game on the 2025 regular season schedule. Remember, that's home or away. If you're in Kansas City and you want to go to the game against the Chiefs, no problem. If you live in Florida and you want to go to the game in Tampa Bay at the end of September, no problem. Text Krause at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And remember, do it quickly before this incredible gift is gone. JAKIB Sports and Savvy Seats put you right in the action with VIP seating, as we are proud to announce our partnership for the 2025 season with Savvy Seats. Text Krause right now at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And pick your game today. If you own a company and you're not producing a podcast, you're missing out. The public consumes messaging when they're ready. Join the professional podcast network of companies and let JAKIB Media Partners put you in the podcast arena. Come to our professional studio, or we'll come to your place of business and professionally produce your company podcast. Call JAKIB Media right now at 267-261-3428. 267-261-3428.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Big Hills National Football Show. Please hit the like button. Brad Sham is scheduled to join us here at the bottom of the hour, the legendary voice of the Dallas Cowboys. Josh says this, Sills, does Belichick's coaching style translate to college? Also, what are the biggest differences between coaching in the NCAA and the NFL? It's a super question, Josh. The difference in coaching, okay, I don't really think you have to be a great coach in college. I think you have to be a fabulous recruiter. And I think what you have to have is, now look, the great programs have the great coaching, assistant coaches. Nick Saban was more of a recruiter. He's a recruiter of coaching talent and also of talent itself. So he had a great eye, especially for the defensive side. And then like the wide receiver coaches at Alabama. And this is what this guy Ken DeBoer did to Xander's program. I hope Xander's listening here. All those coaches that Nick had, that guy fucking fired them all. What did those coaches over 15 years have? Experience, and what else? They had pipelines to Louisiana, to Georgia, to Florida, to Mississippi. They were going into high schools, and all those pipelines. Do you know what Alabama would do? They took a page from us and what we did. There may be a kid that's a sophomore that's, say, at Escambia High School in the Panhandle in Florida, right? And that coach may know he's like a young sophomore. He'll go to that high school coach and go, who's your second best player on your team? He'll go, Johnny Smith. He's a defensive end. And they'll evaluate him. And if he's quality enough to put him on the BAM squad, Nick will offer him. Get the kid in the room. A high school coach gets 2 players at Alabama. That high school coach is going to be more apt to aim that kid at Alabama and make sure that kid goes to Alabama. You know what that high school coach is going to be doing? He's going to be in his fucking ear for the next 2 years going, you want to get the best coaching? You want to go to the NFL? You want to get a chance to be on television? You want to get paid? You want to do all that? You want Alabama because they have everything. Assistant coaching, environment, Legion, or they have Bryant Denny, all that. When you fire those guys and hire a guy from Washington, you destroy all that. You completely destroy that. That's what happened to Miami. We had guys like Don Solinger and Art Keogh, and these guys had been in South Florida and in the South for 25 years, taking guys from, like Ed Reed from Louisiana, or getting a guy like Cortez from Texas. We had all these guys with all these pipelines. You fired all that shit. And you destroyed that. Alabama in the next 2 years is going to look like South Carolina. Not bad, not great. That's what they're going to look like because of destruction. I'm not firing Nick Saban's coaching staff. You know, you give Barry Switzer one bit of credit on what he did when he got the Cowboy job. You know, he didn't fire one assistant coach when he got there. He said, no way, I'm not screwing this up. And he won another Super Bowl. He got to 2 NFC championship games. You can say whatever you want about Barry. He just went, I'm not screwing this up. Why would I? Why would I fire these coaches? The players play for him. They've won. Why would you fire all those Saban coaches? It's absurd. Now, in the NFL, remember this, Josh, it's in numbers. You got 53 men, right? And if you miss on the draft, you don't have 85 guys. Like here, the Philadelphia Eagles missed on one corner, Keely Ringo. Well, if you were Alabama, you got 3 or 4 guys that could take the role of Keely Ringo, and you're not going to miss a beat because you've got maybe 3 or 4 guys that are first-round draft choices anyway, backing these guys up, but they're just younger. That's the difference. You've got to be more of a coach. Remember, here's the rule in the NFL. If you pay them, you play them. That's a rule. If you're paying these guys, you got to play them, which means you got to coach them. You don't have the ability to have 100 people on your roster. You know, with walk-ons, you've got 100 guys to pick from. In the NFL, it's more now. It's 70 with your practice squad. But, dude, you got a guy in your practice squad, that guy's not going to be a first-team All-Pro. In college, that guy's probably your third-team guy. He's just a freshman or sophomore. That guy's probably going to be first-team All-Pro in about 2 years. I mean, look at Will Anderson and the guys that they've had in the Patrick Surtain. Those guys all played behind somebody. You've got to be a better coach. Coaching is essential in the National Football League. You got to have really great coaching to go for. Look at the difference in your defense. Bobby King, Christian Parker, Vic Fangio. Look at what Vic Fangio did in 1 year with defense, and what he did with the defensive football team. In 1 year, he transformed your linebacking core. And get this, you found a guy in Zach Bond who the New Orleans Saints had no idea, and Mickey Loomis is a hell of a general manager. You didn't know Zach Bond was on your roster? That's a miss by coaching. It happens all the time. That guy was that good? First team All-Pro? Dude. It happens. Get to a different environment. And let's not forget something about Fangio. Fangio's forte is linebackers. That's why the That's why the group has gone from being the worst in the league to potentially being one of the deepest in the league. All right. We love this man. We love talking to him. And it's funny, I had a text message this morning going back and forth with Jimmy Johnson. It's really great, too, because I'll tell you what, over the weekend, I'm watching the Notre Dame game, and Brad Sham, of course, knows these men as well as anybody. So I'm texting with Dave Wannstedt and Butch Davis and going, are you watching this? He goes, Sills, what's the number one thing you see in this football game with this Hurricane team? And I'm like, finally, some defensive tackle play. And so we're going, then Jimmy chimes in and goes, that looked like a Hurricane football team. And I was like, yes. And before I start talking about the modern day Cowboys, this Netflix thing, I thought there were some fishtails in it. Okay? I did. I thought there were a little bit of fishtails. I was there for this at the beginning, and I gotta, does that still matter, the Jimmy and Jerry thing? Because some of you out there were not even born for it. But a man who was 15 years old when this thing happened is my friend Brad Sham, the voice of the Dallas Cowboys. He joins us now for the Thursday night game. Brad, how you doing, brother? I appreciate you coming aboard here, man. Let's see if we can get Brad. How you doing, Brad?
I'm well, Dan. How are you?
Does that thing still matter to Cowboy fans?
No. Well, to Cowboy fans, that's the key part. Does it matter? It doesn't matter. Have you ever had in your family a decades-old argument between two uncles? I've had this in my family.
Oh, no, we're Italian, so you know this.
Okay, so 3 generations removed, and why don't we ever see those two? And at one point, my mother said, well, that uncle and that uncle had a fight about something 60 years ago, and now they're still not over it. So it might matter to the family a little bit. After a while, no, but it in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. And I don't know exactly what you mean by fishtails, but I will say that I thought that Netflix, on balance, did a really good job. They didn't sugarcoat much. They didn't hide from hardly anything. There were a couple of little details that I might have done differently, but that thing only matters if people keep bringing it up. To get to, as you well know, when you see the two of them together today,
best friends.
Tap the brakes. They're not best friends, but they are very good friends. They get along great. As people who saw the whole Netflix series saw the day that Jimmy went into the Ring of Honor, the last thing they said to each other before they went out in the field was, I love you. That's what you want. That's good. There was a lot of acrimony between there and here that it's good for the cosmic universe that they put that behind them. Now, the rest of the stuff that happened is it's interesting without question in a salacious kind of way. I don't know what it does to improve the universe that you just keep dwelling on it. And you have to accept that some people, for some people and for some situations, the scales just never really get totally balanced in this lifetime. And
right.
It'll be for historians to see if they can tell the whole story.
Can I tell you, Brad, my favorite part of that Netflix, before we get into the modern day Cowboys and the big news of a week ago here, is when Jerry said this. He goes home, he climbs in the bed, and his wife is looking up at the ceiling. And he finally goes like this, okay, I get what. And she goes, you just can't leave well enough alone, can you?
You just can't
win
won
2 Super Bowls, and you can't. And I went, if that doesn't put the candle in the cake on Jerry right there,
yeah,
you'll never understand him if you don't understand that moment in that series.
Yeah, there was a time when Jason Garrett was still the coach. I can't remember how many years. He was coach 10 years here. I can't remember how many years in. There was a rumor going around that Mike Holmgren, with whom I think Jerry and Steven both grew kind of close when he was in the league, they were on the competition committee together. He was in between coaching jobs, and there was a big rumor going around the Cowboys were talking to him. And I remember there was a tweet from maybe the NFL Network or something in the morning of this game that said Holmgren's here and they're trying to stir the pot. And I rarely see Jerry before the game, but this was a time when I ran into him and I said, hey, just our sideline reporter, Christy Scales, does a live interview with him every game. And I saw him. I said, hey, I'm just giving you a heads up. She's going to ask you about that. She has to ask it. So, but, I just want you to know that the question is coming. And there, a little twinkle came in Jerry's eye, and he said, oh, is Holmgren here? and I laughed, and I said, you can be a hard fellow to help. And he said, yeah. He said, my wife tells me that all the time. She tells me, you just won't win one, will you? And the essence of a lot of the things that happen with them is he likes the pot being stirred. He thinks it's good.
He does, man. And you obviously saw the pot stirred this last week here. Without polluting the question here, I mean, your overall takeaway with Micah, what they got, how long it went on, how it was handled, and where you are now 48 hours from playing the Eagles on Thursday. Your person's going to Green Bay for you meant what?
It's a shame that it came to that. I think the essence is, that feelings got hurt on both sides. And for a move like this to be made on the basis of hurt feelings on both sides, that's a shame. That he's a generational player. There's no doubt about that. Your football team, your on the field game day team is better with him than without him. Now, I don't want to cast aspersions on him. He's not a problem in the locker room, but I will tell you, and you can go back and do the research. When they drafted him, he dropped, and they made a trade, ironically, with the Eagles. It's right. The Eagles wanted Devontae Smith. They knew the Giants, who were drafting in between them, wanted him. And so they made a trade with the Cowboys, which they normally wouldn't do. And so they got Smith, and the Cowboys got Parsons. But, I mean, anyone who saw the tape of Micah playing in college, which I did because I did the Cotton Bowl when he played in it right before COVID, you could see that he was not an edge rusher then. He was a linebacker.
That's right, off ball.
But he was sideline to sideline, and he influenced the game. And even then, before that draft, now then you had COVID in between, and he didn't play, and there were rumblings in the league. Some people weren't comfortable with some things that were being said about what happened in the Penn State locker room. I don't know if any of them are true. I don't know if they're good or bad. I didn't hear them. I just know that there were rumblings. That's why he wasn't a top 10 or maybe even a top 5 pick.
Huh.
And so he's not a great practice player. There are a lot of little things that you can make a very good case don't matter at all if he goes out and plays that way. And I know there's a school of thought, because I've talked to some people around the league who believe if the guy is not perfect, but he plays one of a couple of positions in the league, you might just swallow that. Just take it, because he helps your football team that much. And clearly they were ready to pay him pretty close to the money he got. They wanted another year. the way the negotiations happened, we're into he said now. I know David Mulugeta's been on
Yep.
the networks yesterday and today, and he that's kind of unusual for him, and he's being very candid, stating their side, and Jerry and Stephen both have been very candid, stating their side. So someday, maybe it'll all get told the same way, and maybe it won't, like Jimmy and Jerry. Maybe it'll just be two people who saw something really differently, and there was an outcome. And it's a shame, just from a football standpoint, that if Micah really wanted to be here, that they couldn't make it work. Now, Micah's on tape saying,
It sounds like he wanted to be there, Brad.
well, and yet did he not put out a big, massive tweet that said, "I don't want to be here"?
Yep, he did.
Before training camp.
Yep.
And he's on tape, Dan, 2 years ago, saying, I don't have to be the highest paid guy. I want him to have money to build a team around me. I don't have to make $40 million. I don't think that his people had any intention of letting him sign before all of those other defensive ends did. So you had, Max Crosby in Las Vegas, and you had Myles Garrett, and then the last domino to drop was Hendrickson in Cincinnati.
Right.
And I don't really think they were going to come to a deal before Hendrickson signed. And then Hendrickson signed. It's an outlier for the way the Cowboys have done business, because with Prescott, with Lamb, with everybody they've had a big contract with, a player of that caliber at that level, everybody has said what they've said, and then they come to an agreement and make a deal. And it seems like the Cowboys were willing. They were certainly in the neighborhood financially. It's not like they didn't want to pay him. So why you have to ask yourself, and I don't know the answers to these things, but I think you have to ask yourself. Anybody can see what a great player he is. And if they were close on the money, what was it that made them find sticking points that they couldn't get past?
They didn't want to.
That's why I say I think there were feelings on both sides. Things, hey, any friendship, certainly it happens in marriages. Sometimes you say things you can't take back, and you get past a certain point, and you can't undo it. You can't undo the feelings that have been created. My personal guess is that that's a lot of what happened here, and it's too bad. It's too bad. This is not like a deal where, Charles Haley was not on medication in San Francisco, and he did, by his own admission, some really heinous things. Some of those come out in the Netflix piece. And so you can see why San Francisco wanted to get rid of him. And they did.
They did.
The Cowboys didn't want to get rid of Micah. It just came to that. And if Cowboy fans want to say it shouldn't have come to that, and that's the team's fault, that's not an unreasonable conclusion. And if other people want to say, but the player said different things just within the last year or so, and then he changed his tune, that's not unreasonable. So honorable people are just going to have to differ, and then you go on. Now they're not as good. I said this to a national radio program last week. The day the trade is made, there's no way you cannot say Green Bay won the trade in the day for the year, because they've got him and the Cowboys don't. Now, that doesn't mean that the Cowboys' cupboard is bare. The key for them now is going to be they feel like they have depth at the position. It's going to be very interesting to see Donovan Ezeraku, he's going to get, instead of being a rotational player, he's going to get unleashed. Sam Williams, who's coming off a real bad knee, and I'll tell you, he had a great camp now. He is looking explosive. Will he play that way? I don't know. But so if they have two or three guys who are good at keeping pressure on, and the coordination because of a different scheme is better. There's no question that Clark will help them. I mean, Kenny Clark's a good player.
He is.
And so he'll make them better in that aspect of the team. And then eventually, in a couple of years, we'll see what happens with the draft choices they got. People say, oh, but they're going to be like second-round picks because of how good Green Bay is going to do. And that's probably true, but that presupposes that the only thing you can do with those picks is draft with them where they sit. And what if they take two of those? What if they take those two picks and one of their own, and they find some Micah Parsons or Abdul Carter or somebody coming into the league, and they're able to trade 3 picks up to get him? Well, then you feel a little differently about the impact of the trade than you do at the time that it's made. But it's happened. It's business. It's sad for the people who played with him, his teammates. Most of his teammates really loved him. And there's no doubt he made them a better team on the field. And so now they have an opportunity to prove that they can rally and the whole can be greater than the sum of the parts.
I said this yesterday, and you tell me if you subscribe to this, Brad. It's either going to galvanize or demoralize. And what I mean by that is that, you can't control your locker room with the personnel in it when you're a player. But when you have somebody of that talent and you pull something out like that, the 23rd hour before you're going to play a divisional game against the defending champions, the type of leadership that you have in the locker room is essential in something like that, because you've got to rally around yourselves. You got to really, as a unit, it's us against the world kind of mentality, because people are thinking the Cowboys now going into that game are obviously going to be outmanned because they lost one of the best players, not just in franchise history, but in the league.
Right. Do you think a lot of people thought that the Cowboys were going to win this game with him?
No.
Right. So, okay. So now people don't. So now people don't think they're going to win. So it's immaterial.
Okay. So again, Jerry said that. Jerry said that. He goes, I don't really care about I care about what's the future of the team and what we're going to do to make it better. Do you think that move galvanized them? Or do you think you have to rally, it's going to demoralize the start of the season here?
Well, have to rally, yes. Demoralize, no, I don't think that.
Okay.
I think that a little bit of both is true. I think that for veterans, guys like Prescott and Lamb, and they're the heart of that leadership that you're talking about. Nobody knows better than them that this is part of it. And nobody wants to lose the player, but it is, as you well know, this is professional football.
That's right.
And so the leadership on the team will have, after the first day or two and the shock of it went by, will have said, okay, hey, if everybody wants to say, well, damn, they traded Micah, we're done, and just flush the season, then you can go ahead and do that. But it looks like we've still got a whole schedule to play. And so what are the 53 of us left? Are we all chopped liver? Are we not capable of winning a game? Are we not capable of pulling an upset? We think we are. And so and I think that there are a couple of guys on the defense who have said pretty much that, look, it's a shock. It wouldn't have been what we would have voted for, but we got a game to play. We're not going to let that tell us, oh, okay, I'm done. He's not here. They traded him. I'm done. And some of those guys have signed new contracts. So I don't think it'll demoralize them. Now, if they go, half the season and they absolutely cannot rush the passer, and that's a reason why they're losing all the time, then there'll be some of that. There'll be that. That's already happening outside.
Yeah.
But there would be some of that. But if they're competitive and they prove, this is an opportunity for young players to step up, and not only the ones that I mentioned, but there's some young linebackers who are going to get an opportunity to apply pressure in different ways, and everybody's going to get a chance to prove themselves. So I don't think it demoralizes them going forward. And it was a week ago that the shocks worn off, and they've been at practice, and they're trying to go play the Eagles. They don't want to get embarrassed by the Eagles.
10th year Dak's heading into. In your opinion, what version are we going to see? I mean, this is the 10th season now with Dak Prescott. In your opinion, the 10th year for Dak Prescott will look like what? And what should it look like this year? With
I hate the word "should" because it's very judgmental. Some of that will depend on if
it's a talk show host trick. So
yeah.
I just
right. I was a talk show host for 2 decades. You can't get me.
I got you. You're right, Brad.
A lot of it will depend on how improved the offensive line is. They think it's better. A lot of it will depend on if the running game is better. They think it's better. I can only tell you what I know, and that is having seen him practice every day in training camp. He looks great. His attitude, there's nobody's got a better attitude. Nobody I'd trust more than Dak Prescott. And his presence, his bearing, the way he's moving. I mean, he's not going to be Michael Vick running around out there, but I'm not sure he ever was that. But he looks great. He's very much in command. I think that he thoroughly endorsed the hiring of Brian Schottenheimer. I think they were very close as offensive coordinator and quarterback, and I think they are getting pretty close to being on the same page all the time. Schottenheimer is very open to listening to him, and vice versa. So I think that's going to be pretty smooth. I think Pickett's a good player. Pickens a good player.
Yeah, he is.
A lot of people in Pittsburgh said good riddance. And if he behaves himself, which so far he has perfectly, then that's going to be a formidable combination with him and Lamb. And so, and I try, the question that you're asking is about the quarterback play. I think that he is a guy who does need solid play around him. But we've seen even Mahomes. Everybody would agree, I think, that Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league right now.
Right.
But we've seen in a couple of Super Bowls and championship games, even Mahomes looks human if he's not getting protected, or if people aren't running the right routes, or if those two things are happening at the same time. That's the great thing about football, and you played it in the interior, so you know it. We can have the greatest scheme. We can have the greatest plan. If 10 of us do the right thing and I go the wrong way, that play is a dumpster fire. And everybody has to work together. And so I don't have any problem with a quarterback who needs to be protected and receivers to get open and run the right routes. I think their offense got a chance to be pretty good, and I think Prescott will be a big part of why.
Finally here for you. Is it me? Brad, tell me, when I listen to Brian Schottenheimer, he seems to be able to weed through the Michael Parsons trade, Jerry's, 2 interviews that he does. He seems to be very he's been prepped for the gig. He doesn't misstep himself. He doesn't, and he's got good answers. It looks like he understands the role that he's in as the Cowboy head coach. So, I mean, he's not shocked by anything. And that's just a perception by me. Am I wrong when I say that? No,
you're not wrong. I think you're exactly right. And, of course, because he grew up with it, he's been – and then he's worked with some great coaches and several different teams. And so he has, in a way, been preparing for it his whole life. And I think one key thing that you said that I really agree with is it's being the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys is not like being the head coach everywhere else. There are things that come with this job that, I mean, there's entertainment and glitz and the whole, and it's part of it. Now you can fight it, and some have, or you can embrace it and understand, hey, they're going to give me the tools, I'm going to accept that part. It's not going to get in my way. And I think that that's what he has done. I've been really impressed with how he has handled the media. We have an opportunity with as most is the case with most teams, you get an opportunity with the coordinators once a week. So for the last 2 years, we've been listening to him once a week. And I thought that his answers to questions were always couched in ways that they were never wrong, but he didn't always attack things straight on. And I thought he was very deferential to Mike McCarthy, who is his friend and brought him here. And the day that he got this job, he has answered almost every question. Now, how many press conferences have you been in? You can listen and hear a question gets answered. Words come back in response, but it may not be an answer to a question. But Schottenheimer has answered every question and pleasantly, and he hasn't been ruffled. Now we'll see what happens. And the Parsons thing, he just said, hey, it's business. I love the guy. He's part of our family forever. Yeah. But it's business, and we understand, and we go on. Now, they'll lose a couple games, and people will blame him and call him an idiot, and we'll see how nonplussed he is then. But I think that he has demonstrated an emotional readiness for the job and for this job in particular.
I want to show you one last thing before you go. Guess look who sent me this. So Barry Switzer sent me this, and it says great player and friend, Barry Switzer. And so what was your takeaway of him as a coach of the Cowboys?
I would say that I was doing Texas Rangers baseball for 3 of the 4 years that he was the head coach here. So I worked with him just for the 1 year. And the things that happened, which were disastrous off the field after that Super Bowl, I know that the one they won, that was his win. I was doing a radio show every week with Troy Aikman, had done it since he was a rookie. And I went to Arizona for the week, didn't stay for the game, but I was around. I knew all the players, of course. I've never seen an unhappier team in my life than that team. They were really, it was bad what was going on in their locker room.
Especially Troy.
But especially Troy, but not exclusively Troy.
Right.
And then that kind of manifested in the 96 playoffs, and then with what happened in 97 when they fell apart, and they fell apart off the field, and everything was terrible. And one of the things that I applaud Netflix for doing is not shying away from any of that. They kind of told that story. So, but during those years when things got really bad, I wasn't around the team every day, so I don't think I'm really qualified to evaluate Switzer on that level.
Boy, I'll tell you, I was a little shocked in that Netflix that Troy was so open on his relationship with Switzer, and I was like, now I think it's better now because I heard both of them have been with one another last.
Let me tell you something. There are guys on that team who were a problem for him, and some of them are very notable players, and he would tell you today that they're some of his closest friends. That's one of the reasons I admire Aikman so much. He's a better human being than I am, because some of the things he went through with some of the people he went through, he's found a way to let bygones be bygones and bury that. And that's a nice bow to tie around where you started with Jerry and Jimmy. Does it matter? And I mean, this is not what people want to hear when they're listening to a football talk show, but in life, you need to find a way to make peace with the things that have been most disruptive in your life before you get to the end of the road. Because if you can't make peace with the things that have been disruptive for you, you will be the loser. Because if you've had a big, long dispute, like the 2 uncles that I was talking about before, you're not going to change the other guy. I had someone tell me once that when you're having a dispute like that, and one person seems to be carrying it harder than the other. If you don't let it go, this person said to me, it's like taking poison and hoping someone else will die. I mean, it just doesn't work. It's not good. It's not good for your constitution to hold on to that stuff. And that's why I'm glad Jimmy and Jerry have come to the place that they've come to for them, just as human beings. That's why I'm glad Troy and Switzer and whoever else was a problem for him in those years. That's good. That's good, because when you put your helmet away for the last time, and you take the pads off for the last time, and suddenly you wake up one day and realize, oh, there's life is still happening. I'm not playing football anymore, but life is still happening, and you got to find a way to be happy and respect yourself and the people that you deal with, and that involves not carrying grudges and bitterness.
Absolutely, Brad. It's always great catching up with you, and you remind me of so many great times, and really a great beginning of what I saw and what turned out to be one of the greatest dynasties of all time, and we're all part of that thing at the beginning. Thank you so much, brother. Have a great call on Thursday.
Thank you very much. Always good to see you.
You got it. That is Brad Sham, the legendary voice of the Dallas Cowboys. We so appreciate him being involved with us. Boy, Brad's seen it all. Really has. And, you know, it's when you're somebody like Merrill Reese or Brad, you know what you get? You get kind of like a historical, and you tie it in from history along with the present. So we appreciate that. Guys, I want to thank you guys very much for coming aboard. Thank you again. I mean, 2 to 6 Eastern time. We thank you again. By the way, Sig, let me just tell you something there. That's my aunt you're talking to. So I'm pissed off at you right now. Don't say that stuff to my aunt. It's all good. Don't worry about it. You didn't know. 2 to 6 tomorrow. Big Z, Xander, Joe, we thank you. We will see you, and we will catch you on the flip side.